Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, and a fine Balls Make Wednesday to you and yours. We've got an on-air light. You wouldn't know how giddy us radio guys get by something like an on-air light. And I know a lot of you think that we began yesterday with the disappointing news that we were giving you the shaft. No show locally whatsoever yesterday. But that wasn't so Tom and I could go golfing. No.
I didn't leave here.
No, he was here till 11 o'clock at night.
I don't know about that, but
I may have made that up. But he was here. But they basically said, Cameron, you can't do a show. I said, I'd like to do a show. I'm ready to do a show. I'm prepared to do a show. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. I'm good to go, ready to do a show. They said, you can't do a show. Take it to the house. Well, I'm not one to argue for days about taking a day off. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I was adamant in my stance about doing a show, but I did say I was ready to go. You know that. I said that to you, too.
you did, and I don't mean this to roll anybody under the bus because I'm not. It's just the truth. We had it slated to where Seminole Headlines was going to run yesterday, and we could do the work we need to do.
But Corey got sick.
Right.
Really, and I hope he feels better. He
It's
legitimately got sick. He has strep throat.
Yeah, bad sick, so get better, Corey.
Yeah.
That's Jeff's mic you speak into, buddy. So when you come here for Wake Up War
Yeah,
Chant.
you got to keep it together. Why don't you use Aslan's mic?
That's my mic. No. Use Ira's mic.
Yeah, use that other mic. It's, as long as it's not my mic. So he got sick and missed, and then there was no headlines. There was no Wake Up War Chant, and then the engineers came, and there would be no Jeff Cameron show. So that's how that went. But I was ready to go. I was excited about going. As it turned out, and I knew this was going to happen, I thought to myself, well, I'll get a lot of other things done, and then I'll go play golf. And I knew somebody would be like, see, he's just playing golf. I had to. There was nothing else for me to do. My kids were at school. I saw a couple of clients, said hello. I had an extra cup of coffee, some want to do. Took my dogs on a long walk. Cleaned up some in the backyard. Backyard wasn't going to clean itself, Tom. Had to get out there and do some of that. But by the time I was done with all that, there was plenty of day. There was plenty of day left. And the golf course called. Butch Bundy and the fine folks at Clarn Country Club said, why don't you come out and play some golf? I said, I will do that. I will play golf. At least someplace wants me.
That was very nice. I'm glad you got to do that.
I am glad I did, too. Turned out, I think I fixed some things. Worked out well. Yesterday was a get-right day in a lot of ways, so everything was good. Did you get right here? You feel good about the way
I got
things
right
went?
with the Lord.
You think
That's where I got right.
It felt okay here?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give away some stuff shortly, so get ready to light up the phone lines. You're going to win some free stuff on today's show. That's always good. You know what's good? We've been waiting on it. We've been waiting on it. We do have it. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited about it. I have been since the start of the season. It's just that we had to wait all of this time to get to it. Houston and Golden State's going to happen, and that, in essence, is your finals. And that's, I'd say, if you're going to watch one series, Tom, this would be the one. We've got it. It happens. And who knows? Chris Paul could save James Harden because he's sure at playing like it. And in many ways, you know what's interesting? It's weird to have this happen. Same number of years, same label, same problems with the perception of who they are, what kind of player they are. How about the Chris Paul Ovechkin comparisons?
Ooh, okay.
Do you know, first time each one of them ever been to a conference finals?
Yes, I did know that.
Same number of years in the leagues?
I did not know that.
Same label. Choker. Just can't get past.
Offense first.
Offense first.
Offense only, perhaps.
Limited.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
same thing.
Now, Chris has bounced around a little bit, whereas Ovi's been stuck in Washington or has chosen to stay, whichever way you want to look at it. But, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Good for Ovi. I'm glad he beat the Penguins since we last spoke.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad that Chris Paul played well in a closeout game, and
40 points will do that.
He was sensational, and what I want as somebody who doesn't really have a rooting interest, I just would like to see a really compelling all-time great series. And what I think is interesting, and I legitimately find this interesting. Can Houston out-Warrior the Warriors? Are they going to shoot 53s? I mean, is that the way they have to do it?
That's their goal.
I mean, that's kind of how you have to do it, right? Now, let's not forget, though, they have a top 10 defense. They can play defense. I don't know that either one of these teams is going to necessarily dominate on that end of the floor. Eric Gordon's got to be good, man. You got to give somebody else. There's got to be another person, right? Because that's a monster that you're dealing with.
Yes.
In Golden State.
Well, I did get the schedule, too, of the series, the Western Conference Finals, and we will have most of the games, now that we have the Braves radio network as well, but we're going to have games 1, 3, 4 through 7. So this thing's not going 4. It's probably going 6 at minimum, right? We would hope at least. This
series?
Yes, the West Finals.
Oh, yeah. Listen, if you're Houston, by the way, can I say this? I know you're going to tell everybody where the games are here on our radio.
Well, they're right here, all but 2 and 4. Everything else is
I
right
want
here.
You to be able to say it. I don't want you to be rushed through it. But I want to say this. To me, it's crazy. You know how teams love to tell everybody they've been disrespected? They love to tell everybody that nobody thought we could do it. They make these things up, and then they go on a rant after they win. A lot of times they do it even when they're favored. Houston can actually say it. Has a 1 seed and a team that, over the course of the season proved beyond a shadow of a doubt they were a different version than the Houston teams we had seen previous. If you just go by the Vegas odds, they get no respect. I mean, the talking point around Golden State Houston is how many games does it go?
Right.
It's not can Houston win as a 1 seed. It's how many games does it go? And I think if I were Houston, that would feel a little frustrating. I get it. You're talking about champions, and they haven't won one this era of Houston. Of course, Houston does have championships, plural. But that just makes me laugh that right off the bat, the very first thing about a showdown as epic as this is, let's go 5 games, let's go 6 games. Ooh. Come on now. I mean, that's pretty brutal. I think I would use it. I would be pretty pissed about that.
Well, it's like anything else. It can't happen until it does, if that's the way the national media is going to play it. But let's say that Houston's got a 2-1 lead. They split in Golden State.
Well, start in Houston.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes. So they win both in Houston, and then Golden State wins Game 3 or whatever it is. But they have a 2-1 lead, and you have a little break between a Sunday and Tuesday, as I'm looking at the schedule right here.
Oh, by the way, the Sunday gets ridiculous, though. You're going to have this long layoff because it's just the NBA. Anyhow, go ahead. We'll go through that.
Well, okay, I'll make it even more interesting for this reason, what you're talking about, the news cycle and how annoying it gets.
Yeah.
Let's just say Houston holds home court. They go up 2-0 in the series, right? Well, Game 1 is next Monday. That's the 14th of May. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. right here on 97.9 ESPN.
Nicely done.
There. Game 2 is Wednesday. They don't play Game 3 till Sunday.
I know. That's what I'm saying. There's this long-ass break. The stupid NBA is ridiculous with their scheduling.
Right. That's the only break.
You go long stretches.
It's the only break of its kind in that series. After that, it's Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday. So
then it's a
every
normal
other night.
schedule,
it's a
as it should
regular
be.
schedule. But, if Houston's up 2-0, these talking points are going to be flipped on their head and dissected and double dissected, all of that kind of stuff.
They won't be up 2-0, but it's going to be 1-1 heading back to Golden State. So the question's then going to be, can they get one there? They have one there this year. By the way, they won 65 games. Houston did. They won 65 games and the season series.
No, I kind of feel like this series is just one elongated talking point about Duke basketball from the old days, not the one-and-done days. Do they hit enough threes? If Houston hits enough threes, well, then we have ourselves a bona fide 6 or 7 gamer, and maybe Houston is facing LeBron in the finals.
Whoever wins this series is your NBA champion. So
probably.
So, I mean, that, to me, again, another reason to tune in and get excited and watch a really high level of basketball. I think Harden's a dog, but he's got a running mate, and he's got a guy that can really play. Can you get a third guy to step up here is the whole thing. That's what I was saying earlier. I need a third guy to be able to give me something consistently. You can't be all over the map. And it's if that goes 7, you're going to get one of the great series. I think I read that's the first time that 2 teams, I think, averaging over 110, is that right, have matched up in a conference finals?
Yes.
Man, it's fun. I mean, if you like to see the basket, if you like to see people, put the ball in the basket, this is a fun-ass series.
It's true, but you know what? I should say it's the only break of its kind next week, right? Kinda. But here we are on Wednesday, and it doesn't start till next Monday.
No, right.
This thing is going to be talked about. People are going to be sick of it by Monday.
Well, I was saying earlier that the NBA couldn't catch a break. I said this on Monday, I think it was. They can't catch a break because none of these series were going to go 6. They weren't even going to go 6, let alone 7. Now, their lone hope is tonight that the 76ers can get a win. And by the way, if the 76ers get a win, now I know it's never happened, but you will rightfully begin to entertain the idea that it is a distinct possibility.
It's the old check over each shoulder. You guys seeing this?
Yeah, well, it's the Kevin Millar, right? Remember that walking off the field in Yankee Stadium down 3-2, down 3-1 or whatever, don't let us win tomorrow. Don't let us win tomorrow. Mm-hmm. He said it to the camera and rightfully predicted.
Yeah, I've forgotten that he was a player by the intentional talk persona.
He actually was good for them.
Right.
He's a good player that year, too.
Weird guy.
Yeah, he could play, though. I mean, he had his run where he could really play. I mean, he's not a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he could really play, and he fit for that team perfectly. But he was, I'll give him credit. He cracked me up. I mean, they were down 3-0, then it's 3-1, and he was walking off the field after 3-1 and said, don't let us win tomorrow. And then it happened, and, obviously – the legend grows because they did go on to win the series.
Well, and that's where just talking about playoff formats in general, that's where the 2-2-1-1-1 can be your friend if you're looking for ratings and chances for something like this to happen. Because a 2-3-2 puts you at such a disadvantage if you're not the team with the home field or court or whatever, ice, whatever it is, advantage, that you have to get it all done. Because if it's, 3-1 and you go back or 3-2, excuse me, and the home team gets 2 chances to win in a row.
Yeah,
in their digs.
Yeah, that's you're probably.
It's
not
different than
both.
Okay, if I win tonight, then we're going back to my place.
Yeah, and I'm going to even the series.
I'm going to beat your butt there.
Yeah, and now it's one game, winner take
back
all.
in your place, and guess what? Your fans are on edge.
Well, I was going to say the pressure shifts back. We go back to that Cleveland Golden State thing when it happened, and that's exactly kind of what happened. And the greatest player in the world just decided I'm going to win the damn series, which is still ridiculous. It's still one of the most remarkable things ever. Like him just deciding, no. Remember, he's stalking. I mean,
oh God, Steph, he's daring him
every time down the court. Oh, go ahead with that weak ass.
He's like Dion.
Yeah, just
with the baiting.
Bam,
like,
over and over and over.
Come on.
Again.
Oh no, you got me.
Yeah,
you got me. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Well, but that was like grown man stuff going on there. It was embarrassing. That's the only time I kind of felt for Steph, where I was kind of like, "Ooh, sir.
You could never be that size." That's the one thing you can't do, Steph.
You can't do about this. This is out of control. But we do get the series that I hoped we'd get. It does happen. And for those that kind of care a little bit about the NBA, maybe you watch every so often because you want to see a great player do great things or great teams match up. Here you go. If you haven't, this is it. Watch that on Monday when it finally happens. But we got it. As for Philadelphia and Boston, we're all going to safely assume, which is also funny that we're going to safely assume that Boston goes ahead and closes it out tonight. You could make a strong argument Philadelphia should have won 2 other games in this series. And they did not. Of course, they did not. But being that they have a greater depth of talent with the injuries that Boston has suffered, and that it was funny, they were such an overwhelming, a prohibitive favorite, right? It's so funny to watch the public screw this up. That's why Vegas loves it. They were laughing all the way to the bank. All the money that came in on Philadelphia to cruise in this series. My favorite part of that, and listen, we all get things wrong, predictions. If you're paid for an opinion and you give it, everybody's going to know when you're wrong. That's fine. I got it. But Greenberg's prediction, and that he was shouting from the rooftops in the first...
Seth or Mike?
Mike.
Because they got Seth doing NBA analysis
which is
now.
also comical. But anyhow, the yelling that the Sixers would sweep the Celtics. It wouldn't even be close. None of the games would be competitive is what he kept saying. And the next thing you knew, it was 3-0 Boston. And I've thought about something. I kept looking at the odds because I'm wont to do that. I'll look at what the public – everybody was betting Philadelphia, and there you go. All those big buildings. You realize how they're built. They were cracking up. Can you imagine them?
They weren't wrong in theory. It's just that, you have a really smart coach who gets the most out of his players, and Philly is just kind of raw.
Yeah, I think they did disrespect the likes of Tatum and Horford. Tatum is the only rookie, I think, in the last 15 years, 20, he's not gone less than 20. He's been great. He's going to be a legitimate star. Imagine that now. You're sitting there, and Tatum's doing that for the Celtics, and your boy can't get off the bench for Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. He can't even see 5 minutes. You just think back to drafts.
You're really geeked up about the NBA.
No, I'm geeked up about certain matchups, and this is a good matchup. I mean, there's money to be made here.
I think people who are alert can tell I've been lost in the Stanley Cup playoffs a little bit here.
It's all right. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Out the most powerful cordless kit on the planet. GoVolt FlexVolt. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
Do you remember going to Tallahassee Tiger Shark games? How about the Silver Slipper for special occasions? Did you hang out at Mutt and Jeff's? Relive these great memories and more with a brand new t-shirt from Local Vintage. I'm Chet, the founder, and I want to personally invite you to visit my website, localvintage.com. That's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com. Hey, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and Father's Day is just around the corner. My super soft, made in the USA tees make great, unique gifts for mom and dad. Plus, here's a pro tip from me to you. Sign up for email, and you get a discount code good for 20% off your first purchase. That's right, 20% off your first purchase on the website. Go to localvintage.com now and get the apparel with Home Advantage. That's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com. Once again, that's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com.
Don't start your day off with the same old boring breakfast. Stop by the Bagel Market and Bistro on Thomasville Road and the Persimmon Hills Shopping Plaza. They have fresh baked bagels and cream cheese every Monday for only $1.50. Green smoothies and great salads like the spinach apple salad. Muffins and cinnamon rolls are also options for breakfast. Sandwiches, salads, and more for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week. Check them out online at thebagelmarketandbistro.com or on Facebook and give them a call at 765-0598.
With this job, having two hands won't cut it, which is why I thank the stars I have a third. Grainger. When my two hands are full, I fully rely on Grainger. They're America's #1 source for industrial-grade supplies. So, whether I'm fixing a furnace or fastening a faucet, Grainger hands me what I need when I need it, which makes me a pretty lucky guy. Because when it comes to needing an extra hand, Grainger's got your back. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
It's time to get your chop on as our Atlanta Braves continue to roll through the big NL East battles and into the summer.
The 3-2 pitch, here it comes, and there it goes. It's fair, it's long, it's in the chop house.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey, and by Metro Deli in downtown Tallahassee. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com/Braves. You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. That's not something that I've failed to mention this, and this you would not have had to have been paying close attention. Let's put it that way. If I can spell. I'm double checking the minute of the game that it happened because I figured I should know that if I'm going to rip the guy, which I'm about to do. Yeah, here it is. All right. So I don't know if you saw this. During the Cavs game, when they closed out Toronto, 128-93, I was telling you before, I'll tell the audience this because it's pretty amazing, but I was telling you before the show started that Cleveland not only covered, obviously, and easily covered if you were a gambler, but all of the in-game bets you won if you just gave the points, the live betting as it's known. If you live betted Cleveland, you were 18 for 18. Just saying, it was easy money. Everybody knew that game was going to be an ass whooping. Everybody knew Toronto's season was over, including Toronto, and they were heading to the golf course without question. As the game was tipped off, they were heading to the golf course in their mind. So you're not surprised to see a lopsided score of 128-93. With about 4 minutes left to go in the game, Cleveland, obviously, it's mass substitution at that point. But Rodney Hood on Cleveland's team refused to go into the game, refused to check into the game. There was a timeout. Tyronn Lue attempted to put him in the game. Actually, it was at 7:38. I wanted to make sure I got this right. They were up by 30 points with 7 minutes and 38 seconds to play. And obviously, he's going to pull guys off the floor and put the bench crew in. And he turned to Rodney Hood and said, "You're in." Rodney Hood said, "You can go to hell. I'm not going in."
You go to hell and you die.
So he said he was not going to go in, that he was offended to be put in that situation.
Huh?
You know, I try to avoid the what in the hell is going on with today's kid conversation or athlete conversation, because I'm very well aware that at 46 years of age, I have now moved on over into that older or at least middle demographic, you know, certainly within the sports talk world or just age in general. Midlife, right?
Yeah, the chair in front of your house all of a sudden starts rocking back and forth.
So I know that. I know how easy it is to slip into get off my lawn guy, how easy it is to say kids today, back when I was a kid and all that. You know, I don't want to do that. I hated that when I was a kid. I know it makes people roll their eyes. What are we doing here? Look, man, I'm the coach. You're the player. What are we doing? This isn't up for discussion. You're in the game. We're done. You're Rodney Hood, first of all. You're a nobody.
You're getting minutes in the playoffs.
And there's always a reason. Lest you think I'm just doing this for the hell of it. Oh, because I want to show you up? No, I'd like to get my starters, who are pivotal in this situation, some rest in a 30-point blowout. Get your ass on the court. Never mind the idea that you could find rhythm, that you could get into, it's different. Practice is different than a game. Practice is different. We all know that.
You might be called upon. Perhaps 2 weeks from now.
There are certain matchups. It could be things that I'm looking for. There can be sets I'm going to run that I want to see how you respond to based on the next matchup. There's any number of things that I may be looking at, but I don't need to justify my decision to sit this guy and to play you with 7.5 minutes to go. It doesn't matter why. Get in the game. We're done talking here. Now, they announced they're not going to suspend him. He was acquired from the Jazz in February when the Cavs changed their roster, and allegedly he feels terrible. He feels awful about his decision to refuse to go into the game, and he wishes he had handled it better. And they're not going to suspend him. For his part, he said that I'm fine. I'm fine. I realize my mistake. I won't let that happen again. That, too, leaves me incredulous. You're fine? Well, good. I'm glad everything's okay. You think you can show up for the next series? You going to be here for us? Can I put you in? Would you do me the honor of playing when I put you in the game?
Yeah. That's much like Boston in hockey had their exit interviews today. That's what happens when you're eliminated from the playoffs. Yeah. A couple of days later, you have to go to the media and talk to them about your season because it's over. And so Boston's season is over, and they've been eliminated.
It is over for sure. Resoundingly so. They lost 4 straight.
And since their season's over, they've had to talk to the media. And Marchand, the guy who was licking all the players, appeared contrite today, was very, very sorry
He's
for his
sorry about
actions.
all the licking.
He also wanted to mention he was playing through an injury. But he says today that he's
okay.
He's disgusted with himself.
That, yeah.
He's disgusted with his actions. He feels really bad, and he needs to cut that stuff out.
Well, the situation with Hood here is that a rookie supplanted him in the rotation of the depth chart, if you will, in the order of that rotation. And that is allegedly what it was that he was upset by, and that he was being asked to go into the game sooner than he should have, that in terms of later than he should have, in the order of things in his mind. Again, man, it doesn't matter what the score is, what part of the year, where we're at, what the rotation is, or what you think of yourself. I just told you to go into the game. It's like pitchers who refuse to come off the mound. I get the competitiveness. When a manager goes out to pull a reliever, occasionally you'll get those moments. Don't show up your manager, man. Hand him the ball. You can be disgusted. You don't have to smile and give everybody hugs.
Chuck your glove when you're walking down the steps.
Yeah. I get it. I get that. But there's an order of things here. This is very simple. He's the coach. You're the player. And I don't think that's old school. I think that's just, there are certain things you can do when you're an employee and things you can't. I read that and then followed up with that quote, "I'm good now. I wish I had handled that better. I'm okay, though. I'll be all right next time. I've learned from it." I don't think you need to comment to the press in that situation, man. Listen, I get that there's value in Rodney Hood. He's a guy that averaged 10 points, 2.5 boards in 21 regular seasons games. So he can play a little bit. He's not a complete waste.
But the "I'm good" thing reminds me of just people who maybe of my generation, maybe not, but who like to, when they do something good, make sure that you see it. Maybe they post it across all their social media platforms when they do something good. Warmed my heart to do this today. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Did it warm your heart, or are you looking for some kind of equity here? You want people to give you the old thumbs up. It's like, well, I'm good. I don't care.
Yeah,
the answer is I don't care.
They're not going to suspend him. And listen, given the part of the season that you're in, I understand that response from the team. They'll handle it internally. I'd find the bejesus out of him. And also, moreover, it's less about the organization. The organization could decide they can move on without him next year, whatever they're going to do. You're not trying to go into a conference finals with a lot of upheaval. So maybe your hands are tied a little bit in the moment. But I would be thinking more along the lines of, can I play with him ever again? Can I trust you? Clearly, you're selfish to a level that I can't, I don't want to do battle with a guy like that. I don't want to do it. Like, if I'm LeBron, you can go to hell, Rodney Hood.
Well, I'm
done
sure
here.
If LeBron has something to say, I'm sure he's not afraid to say it.
Well, man, I would be screaming that from the mountaintops. That's just a quote for the ages. That is, I read that this morning and went, oh, that's good of Rodney Hood to say everything's all right now. He's sorry about refusing to go into the game. Tyronn Lue asked him 3 times, I'm putting you in. No, I'm not going in. I think that would have made for the worst film imaginable. I know it's a players' league. That's a players' league, and guys decide.
You'd send him back to the locker room, wouldn't you?
I think you would, or fight him, which is the wrong play. But I think Tyronn Lue's a former player, so I was just thinking about it from a player's standpoint. That's the kind of thing that would cause somebody.
Oh, you don't want these minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. Right. Here we go. And then that's going to escalate, and we're going to have a good time with this. I don't know how it didn't happen.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Review to your complete satisfaction. That's been Widden's way of doing business for over 70 years. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. We've done hundreds of storefronts in the Tallahassee area. That's why Widden is known for taking care of business. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
Say what, it's the boy Big Snoop D-O-double-G. And I got a very special message to the players. That's right, to the males. Sexual performance issues are more common than you think. Maybe not for me, but probably for you. Over 25% of new ED cases are guys under 40. So what do you do if you suffer from ED? Go to forhims.com, the wellness brand for men, so you can look good, feel good, and perform well in the bedroom. You dig? Thanks to science, E to the D can be optional. Say, man, don't be embarrassed. Guys should take better care of themselves. Look good, feel good, live good, like me. It's $5. $5 to try it out, man. And it comes right to your crib. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Go to forhims.com/love. FORHIMS.com/love. ForHims/love. Go.
With this job, having 2 hands won't cut it, which is why I thank the stars I have a third. Grainger. When my 2 hands are full, I fully rely on Grainger. They're America's #1 source for industrial-grade supplies. So, whether I'm fixing a furnace or fastening a faucet, Grainger hands me what I need when I need it, which makes me a pretty lucky guy. Because when it comes to needing an extra hand, Grainger's got your back. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Fred Conrad, and I'm a criminal defense lawyer. For almost 20 years, I've been practicing DUI law in Tallahassee. Did you know if you're arrested for a DUI in Florida, your driver's license will be suspended regardless of whether you refuse a breath test or if you give a breath sample over the legal limit? And you only have 10 days from the date of the arrest to contest the suspension. Did you know in Florida, a DUI conviction will stay on your record for the rest of your life? If you've been arrested for a DUI, don't blow it. Call my office and talk to me today, 222-4005, or visit my website, fredconrad.com. I'll personally handle your case.
And now, Jeff and Eddie wasting time when they're supposed to be recording a commercial.
What were we drinking?
It was tall. I just remember there was a lot of it.
And it was cold, and it was
so hot outside.
Man.
It was crazy.
I couldn't even breathe.
Truck. Then the truck came up with the dude.
Oh, that guy.
Food was good. Food was good.
Yeah, the food's always good.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute. Brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
Last night, interleague action between the Braves and the Rays from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. It was Blake Snell versus Sean Newcomb. We had ourselves a pitcher's duel last night as Newcomb went 6 innings, did not give up a single run, just 2 base hits and 6 strikeouts. Only problem, would he get any run support? Got just enough. Came on this home run from Ronald Acuna in the top of the 3rd inning.
Payoff pitch. Hit a mile. Way gone. Forget about it. Deep into the Florida night. Ronald Acuna with a bomb to left. 2-out home run, 1-0 Braves. And even the Rays fans are oohing and eyeing on that majestic home run.
That made it 1-0 Braves, and that would end up being the final score. Carl came on after 6 strong from Newcomb. Carl, Minter, Winkler, and Vizcaíno. That quartet of pitchers was able to shut it down for the Braves, and the Braves took Game 1, 1-0. Game 2 will be tonight, 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central. Julio Teheran sees the Rays for the first time in his career, and he takes on left-hander Ryan Yarbrough. I'm Ben Ingram. This has been your Atlanta Braves Radio Network update.
Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday.
Balls you fire.
Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Never gets old. On this day, it's Marshall McDougal Day. FSU Baseball tweeting this out, but it was on this day in the year 1999 that Marshall McDougal hit 6 home runs in a single game against Maryland. 6 in a row, I might add. He was 7 for 7. He singled his first time up. 26-2 was the final in that game. 16 RBIs. For the contest. Both stand even today as an NCAA record. It is so rare in sports that truly we say it a lot, but when you really sit down and think about it, oftentimes you can see a way in which a record will be broken or someday reached. This isn't one of them. Oh, sure, somebody might have 16 RBIs in an extra innings game or something like that. A game goes 28 innings or something absurd. You might see that someday. I could see 16 RBIs. It's, to some degree, unfathomable, but you could see 16 RBIs. You won't see 6 home runs, and what's interesting about that is immediately following that game, nationally, talk show host after talk show host and Sports Center and everywhere else you looked went through the annals of baseball history, and it wasn't just college baseball. It was pro baseball. It was minor league baseball. Hell, to some degree, they were looking in the official records for Little League baseball, like Little League World Series stuff and, the buildup those teams have as they go through tournaments and play, to try to find a time in the history of the game at any level, the St. Paul Saints or something like that, independent league baseball, anything you can find, Mexican League, whatever it was. Had there ever been
Japan?
Well, right. Had there ever been a time where in a game of baseball with actual players and umpires and fans and that somebody documented somebody hit 6 home runs? They couldn't find it. They don't think that it's ever happened anywhere before or since. And I was in Bradenton. I've told this story countless times, but for those who are new to the show, and our audience continues to grow by the month, and we thank you for that. But I'll share it again on Marshall McDougal Day. The 6 home runs against Maryland in a 26-2 whitewashing. And I can still hear the late, great Lee Bowen's calls. I only heard them afterwards because I was watching that game live on the old Sunshine Network. And you've talked about growing up. There was a time, folks, where college baseball was actually on television frequently.
Oh, I used to love it because it was on in the afternoons always, on the weekends too. It was something you could, as a kid, embrace. It wasn't prime time during the week baseball. If we played Miami, it was on.
It was on.
At
You
least
could always
twice.
find it. I loved it because not only that, Sunshine did such a good job. They'd have all the schools on. You could watch Florida play. You could watch Miami play. You'd watch Florida State play. You'd see a quality college baseball game seemingly every weekend. And during the week, you'd get quality college baseball.
You can see the old graphics, right?
Oh, yeah. I miss it. I do. I miss it. It was really good for the sport in this state anyhow. I think college baseball to some degree has grown some, but recently it feels like it's taken a step back just because it's hard to find. I mean, you have to do something different than sit down and turn on your television to find college baseball. You know what I mean? And there's a crowd, there's a demographic, I'd say 40 and up, that simply aren't Chromecasting or pulling it up on their computer.
Yeah, and we talk about this at times with the Xfinity stuff that we get. And, maybe this is kind of beneficial to the Xfinity thing we have, but
yes,
they give us Netflix and YouTube, and you could do that with a command on the remote.
Yes, people like that. They want the cord to be connected to their box,
right,
and to be able to press the button and it's on.
If they ever were afforded the opportunity or negotiated the ability, probably more precisely to put it, to watch ESPN,
it would be
available.
Well, that's got to be the next big step
through the coax cable connection.
Same for the ACC network. That's coming.
Right. If you could just do it that way, then it's like a channel. It's the same thing as a channel.
The exact same.
But right now, it's not.
No.
You have to go. I mean, for the CP, they have the Roku box, and then you get the you have to click and
we can find the Jeff Cameron Show on there at the CP right now.
Right. That's true.
That is true.
You can.
Well, I was watching this game. I was visiting my family. They had moved to Bradenton by this time after me and my brothers had moved off and been away for some time. And so they've got land down there, and I'm there visiting, and I put that game on. And, folks, we used to just – poor Maryland. I mean, when Maryland was in this conference, unless it was basketball – it just pretty much took ass beating after ass beating when it came to playing Florida State.
Maybe that's why Van Pelt was just so snarky when he came on.
Yeah, it might have been.
Maybe it's just decades of Florida State's,
owning
dominance.
Yeah, could be. Well, we used to beat Maryland in a way that was unhealthy for the kids at Maryland and their fans. And this obviously was no different, 26-2. But when he hit his first 2 home runs of the game, I didn't think really anything of it. Marshall McDougal was a really good player on a team of really good players. You got to remember, in '99, Florida State's baseball team had Matty Diaz and John Ford Griffin and Carl Jernigan, and that was a loaded team. This is a really good baseball team. And McDougal was a big part of that. So a 2-home-run day, you're just kind of, good day for Marshall McDougal. At that point, he was 3 for 3 with a single and 2 home runs, and I thought, that's good. My stepdad walked by. He's the Bull Gator, who's a lawyer. And, he'll ask me, how are your Knowles doing? How did you see the Gators score? He'll ask me things like that throughout the day. But Marshall McDougal hit his 3rd home run. And we're routing Maryland, so he's getting a lot of at-bats. Like it's happening inning to inning because guys are getting on base, including the last time he comes up, which even allows him to hit that 6th home run. A lot of things had to happen for us to get around in the order to him to have another shot at it. And after he hit his 3rd home run, my stepdad walks by and asks what's going on in the game. And I said, we're just pasting Maryland, and he rolls his eyes, whatever. And I say basically, hey, you may want to come in and watch this kid's next at bat. He's trying to hit, 4 home runs. 4 home runs. You don't see people hit 4 home runs all that often. We've talked about this in Major League Baseball. Like, you can remember the times that a guy hit 4 home runs, especially in your youth. I bring up the Bob Horner 4 home run game. I can still remember when Bob Horner hit the 4 home runs, and I'm watching the Braves and thinking, this is incredible. This dude just hit 4 home runs. It just never happens, right? Or seldom happens. So he came into the room, and, I mean, almost all of these, save for the last one, are just no-doubters, are just bombs, right? And Maryland's Park back then was not a particularly big ballpark. A lot of home runs were hit. They had high fences, but it was a pretty easy park to hit a home run in. A few of these are just straightaway center, though, so at least he earned it. But he hits the ball, and it's gone, and that's 4. So he said, come get me if he gets up again. I want to see something I've never seen before, which in his mind at that time, of course, is 5 home runs. And I've seen J.D., this is me. I'm thinking, I've seen J.D. Drew hit 3 home runs in a game. I've seen John Ford Griffin have the kind of year that he's had. There were a lot of guys that came before Marshall McDougal that had extreme power that I may have seen hit 3 home runs in a game. Couldn't think of anybody that I'd ever seen hit 4 in Florida State's lore. But I did. I went and got him. He was out in the yard. Come here. He's coming up. We got a bunch of guys on again, and he's turning and boom, he goes yard again. And then he goes back out. He goes, I've never seen that before in all my life. And he, like your dad, was in New York and was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan and all that. And so he talked about
Jackie Robinson play.
Well, and he talked about the years of baseball that he'd watched and loved and cared about, all that. Never seen somebody even come close to that. That's amazing. How about that? Well, good old baseball. He's carrying on and leaves the house. And I have to race out there and get him again out in the driveway this time. Hey, he's got one more. He's coming up. There's no way he's going to hit a 6th home run. It's a first pitch home run. And it's a sidearm pitcher, same-sided. So usually, you'll see a guy righty hitting a left-hander sidearm. You hit that a mile. But not same-sidedness, same-handedness, if you will. Bam, straightaway center. Against the wind. Against the wind.
Against the wind.
Blowing in. It's not the Seeger song, but it's a line shot. Straightaway center. 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. The videos are everywhere. It is tweeted out by FSU Baseball. And poor Marshall McDougal, not exactly a wordsmith. I don't mean that to be cruel. Of course, everybody wanted to interview him afterwards and talk to him afterwards. And, of course, that included Jim Rome. And Jim Rome at that time had the only sports show in America that seemingly was syndicated that everybody listened to on a daily basis. And he had Marshall on, and it didn't go well.
Oh, really?
It was, yeah.
Did Rome make light of it, or?
He's kind of an ass.
Yeah.
But it was a toughie. I mean, Marshall struggled. He was trying to show that he was down with the show and use the jargon.
Oh, Romey.
Yeah, he was kind of like, I think, to some ways caught or taught. He was caught in the middle what to do there. Try to be affable and pretend like you know the show when you don't, and or just be himself, which is kind of laid back, subdued. Neither are really going to work.
At what point do you think Rome started to mail it in? What year?
99,
back in the 90s?
Oh,
holy cow.
Maybe after he cashed that first $1 million.
He's on year 20 of mailing it in?
Most people don't know he's still on.
Yeah, I know.
Is he still on?
CBS has him.
I didn't know he was on.
And they put him on their TV channel, too. I knew that because FSU promoted that Kofor was going on. I was like, ooh, you got Phil Kofor, did you? How'd you get that interview, Jim?
I'm not doing it. No, he's a legend in the industry, no doubt about it. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, Your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
On accessories that makes the truck look nice. We've got grill guards, we've got brush guards, stainless steel Nerf bars, lifetime warranty on those, and again, the spray-in bed liner is going to make it worth your while.
You're talking about putting a few of these things on there, and you're going to increase the value of that vehicle.
Well, you will, and not only are you going to do that, but you're going to make it look nice. It's going to customize it for your own personality and your own wants and needs. Some guys like it jacked up. We also do lowering kits.
There's only one place in town that's going to be able to truck it up then.
That's right. That's Truck and Car Concepts.
Truck and Car Concepts. 1 block east of Weems Road on Mahan Drive, across from Kraft Nissan. Call 656-8800. Come on, say it with me. 656-8800.
Do you remember going to Tallahassee Tiger Shark games? How about the Silver Slipper for special occasions? Did you hang out at Mutt and Jeff's? Relive these great memories. Do you remember a brand new t-shirt from Local Vintage? I'm Chet, the founder, and I want to personally invite you to visit my website, localvintage.com. That's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com. Hey, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and Father's Day is just around the corner. My super soft, made in the USA tees make great, unique gifts for mom and dad. Plus, here's a pro tip from me to you. Sign up for email, and you get a discount code good for 20% off your first purchase. That's right, 20% off your first purchase on the website. Go to localvintage.com now and get the apparel with Home Advantage. That's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com. Once again, that's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com.
With this job, having two hands won't cut it, which is why I thank the stars I have a third. Grainger. When my two hands are full, I fully rely on Grainger. They're America's #1 source for industrial-grade supplies. So, whether I'm fixing a furnace or fastening a faucet, Grainger hands me what I need when I need it, which makes me a pretty lucky guy. Because when it comes to needing an extra hand, Grainger's got your back. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Braves are putting the National League East on notice as they continue to play strong baseball as we roll into the summer.
Hit in the air and hit well. Left field and deep. And way out of here into the upper deck for Ronald Acuna's first Major League home run.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by AmeriGas Propane of Tallahassee, Bagel Market Bistro, and by Early Trucking Company in Arlington, Georgia. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Well, since it's a short segment, why don't I make it a rewarding one for those that are quick on the dial? Is that 523-3776? Yes, that's correct.
Yes, 523-ESPN.
523-3776. Family 4-pack of Wild Adventures Theme Pack 4 tickets. 4 tickets. Here you go, station winner. You win a family 4-pack of daily admission tickets to Wild Adventures Theme Park. If you call now, caller 2 is our winner. Caller 2. With that ticket voucher, you can enjoy an entire day of fun at Wild Adventures, including Splash Island Water Park. You can also experience Alabama live in concert. The concert is included with your admission. It's going to be a fun day, so make sure you log on to wildadventures.com for all the details, park hours, and to help plan your visit. don't forget, folks, with these 4 tickets, you can see Alabama live at the Wild Adventures theme park.
That would be May 19th. Get you some.
May 19th, Alabama. Caller 2. Visit Wild Adventures on or before the expiration date listed below. That's how that's going to normally read. Alabama live at Wild Adventures. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
$1,000 off at TNT Supercenter on the brand new QuietTech Yamaha gas golf cars. The new Yamaha technology combines the quietness of electric with the dependability of gas and the very first independent rear suspension ever found in a golf car. Choose from over 30 new gas Yamahas, including 4-passenger Adventure Sports and the 6-passenger Concierge. Ask about zero down and low interest financing with approved credit. And TNT delivery is free from Valdosta to Tallahassee. Just in at TNT Supercenter, a special fleet purchase of 2016 Club Car Precedent golf cars. These like-new Club Car golf cars at TNT Supercenter are $27.99, including the charger and windshield. Only at TNT Supercenter, and only while they last. Just $27.99. Zero down and low-interest financing available with approved credit. And delivery is free from Valdosta to Tallahassee. US 19 South, next to the Dairy Queen in Thomasville. View inventory and pricing at TNTSupercenter.com. TNT Supercenter, Thomasville, Georgia.
Say what, it's the boy Big Snoop D-O-double-G. And I got a very special message to the players. That's right, to the males. Sexual performance issues are more common than you think. Maybe not for me, but probably for you. Over 25% of new ED cases are guys under 40. So what do you do if you suffer from ED? Go to 4hims.com, the wellness brand for men, so you can look good, feel good, and perform well in the bedroom. You dig? Thanks to science, E to the D can be optional. Say, man, don't be embarrassed. Guys should take better care of themselves. Look good, feel good, live good, like me. It's $5. $5 to try it out, man. And it comes right to your crib. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Go to forhims.com/love. FORHIMS.com/love. For him/love. Go.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio. WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The only series still on the floor in the second round of the NBA playoffs takes center stage in Boston tonight. The Celtics host the 76ers with a 3-1 series lead. Trailblazers guard C.J. McCollum is impressed by the Celtics in this postseason.
Obviously, Terry Rozier's played well. Jason Tatum's played well. Jaylen Brown stepped up. But Brad Stevens' ability to draw up inbound plays, draw up ATOs out of timeouts and get baskets or put people in a position to get baskets is what's ultimately been the difference in the series.
C.J. McCollum on Golic and Wingo. Boston goes for the series clincher tonight. Celtics guard Shane Larkin won't need surgery, but the team says he'll be out for the foreseeable future with a sprained left shoulder. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Super Bowl champion Eagles will sign running back Matt Jones, who was cut earlier this week by the Colts. Wideout Brandon Marshall in Seattle today visiting with the Seahawks. Marshall was cut by the Giants after failing his physical. Baseball tonight on ESPN at 7 Eastern. The Red Sox and Yankees to settle temporarily first place in the American League East.
If your big Mother's Day surprise consists of one well-crafted text message, you need to step it up with 1-800-Flowers. Right now, you can get 24 multicolored roses plus a free vase for only $29.99. To order, go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and enter code WILL.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday.
Balls you flag.
Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. Hope you're doing well on this fine Balls Mick Wednesday. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. If you do miss something, all 3 hours posted every day upon the conclusion of the show. That's right. You can find it on iTunes and or in the audio vault. So go there and find out which portion of the show that you missed and listen in. Email the show if you want. It's jcs at 979espnradio.com. On Twitter, it's at jcameronshow. You'll find me there sometimes. I'm always there, I guess, but I'm not always looking at it. But there I am, at jcameronshow, if you want to follow me on Twitter.
How are you not glued to it at all times?
Well, people attach you to things that you don't care about, and then it's retweeted a gazillion times, and your name is attached to it, and you're going, what the hell is going on here? I don't care about this loser from Florida getting into a fight with a guy from Florida State. That sounds like a very Twitter thing to have happen. But anyhow, apparently that is a thing now. It's not just on Twitter. You know, apparently the video gaming systems see this sort of problem happen all the time, too, where people are on those chats or whatever, and they're able to talk to one another playing. You do this sometimes. I'm not talking about the bad stuff, but
sure.
You'll play online. I don't play online against other people.
Yeah.
My kids do, but I don't, and I know you do for a game like, what's the one where you
Halo.
shoot them up in space?
Yeah.
All right.
It's been months since I played, and I'm getting the jitters.
Well, you should play it at some point this weekend.
Play tonight.
There you go. But the point would be that when you go and play with that, you're dealing with other people, and apparently people get angry with other people about the way they play. Now, this would be fun for me. I've never played that game, so I know nothing about Halo. So if I misstep here, make sure you tell me that
Sure,
hey, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But it's my understanding there was a way back in the day. It may have changed. I don't know. Where you could teabag people on there?
Well, that's what they called it.
Okay, which, by the way, is fantastic.
You still
I think
can.
That's awesome. So people would kill their fellow competitors in Halo and then teabag them.
Well, the way they would do it is they would hit the right joystick and click it in, and you would kneel down. And so it's like it looks like you're genuflecting, but they would call that because what it would do.
Yes, I
if
understand what it would do.
Well, yeah, no, but it would hang on, no, it would make the body of the dead person bounce around a little bit. So that's why,
it's even worse.
Yeah.
So
of the space dead person.
It's like a glitch in the game that people discovered.
People still do it?
Yeah. Well, Halo, once it happened, the people who make Halo must have been like, awesome. They thought
it bothered people, including me. I would, yeah.
It would make you mad.
Well, I would execute people on my own team who did it. I would walk up behind him and execute him. And then the thing would go, betrayal.
So, okay. See, already, this is a whole other world. So you're telling me on the game you
Yeah.
could walk up and blow your own teammates away.
Sure could.
And you would do so because you saw them tearbagging other competitors.
We
and it
respect our
bothered you.
enemies.
Yeah,
In
okay,
my-
I see. So you had this other thing going on.
That's right. In my unit, we respect our enemies here. All right.
Well, what would keep somebody from coming up to you and shooting you in the back of
And
the
it
head?
would happen.
Yeah, I was going to say you've just invited that to happen.
Yeah, but I was pretty agile.
So here's the deal: people who do that, who get into these games online and shoot each other in the head and teabag each other, end up in fights. Like
Real ones.
Real ones. People drive to go see other people. It's like the famous footage of the guy that was in an argument over Kobe Bryant online.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but crazy. Like somebody driving, wherever they were driving, like to Oxnard or something, to fight somebody else over an argument about Kobe's relative greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently that happened between a Florida State and a Florida person, and it does strike me as so Twitter or online gaming community, doesn't it? I mean, that is, good Lord.
So the best thing you could do to betray somebody in the online gaming community, I'll get to a story about aggression because the first time I experienced it was in high school, like a verbal,
Was somebody yelling at you?
Oh, yeah. But if you throw what's called a plasma grenade, which they call stickies, there's these light blue, glowing things.
Right.
There's a second or two, about a second that goes by before the person actually dies. And so it goes cuckoo, and it makes a noise.
Oh, you know it's coming.
So people get mad because they'll hear it. And they're like, there's no way that could be from the other team.
Yeah.
And so they start screaming, cuckoo, and just...
You hear the yelling.
Oh, that'll make you laugh. It doesn't... Now,
that's funny.
That'll make you laugh. But in 2005, Madden 2004, right? Or 2003, excuse me. They're a year ahead. They're like cars.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Michael Vick year. That was when Michael Vick was unstoppable in Madden.
Yeah, I was going to say not in real life. He never really did much in real life.
Right.
In the pros.
But I could stop him. I was a good
Because
player.
you had Derek Brooks.
and
You're
I
probably
did-
the Bucks.
I was the Bucks.
They stopped him in real life, too.
I ran cover 2, and Brooks could follow him
That's
sideline
right.
to sideline.
That's right.
This man was so angry that I could stop Michael Vick that he was threatening. And I'm a high schooler. Threatening harm, bodily harm.
What, I'm supposed to let you score?
Right. And then, yes, it was really aggressive language. So, I was in high school, but still, I go, oh, my God, this
guy's really pissed. Well, then I would have done it more.
Then he flooded me with messages and stuff.
Oh, good Lord.
He's a bit of a crazy. Yeah.
Was he also a high school kid, I assume?
No, this is a grown-ass man.
A grown man.
This is a grown-ass
man
whose hero is Vic. And you can't, it was all about Dirty Birds, was his gamer tag and all that stuff. Oh, my.
He has since committed suicide, hopefully.
I hope not.
Oh,
but
I do. We don't need that in this world. He's a loser. Yeah, so it's brutal, right? Like the amount...
That's an equalizer.
Can you imagine being the kind of person that gets that upset in an online game?
Oh.
It's unimaginable, right?
If I get that upset, I turn it off and I say, you need to grow up.
You got to get a hold of
and
yourself.
go do something.
Yeah, go exercise.
Yeah,
go do
let's
something.
go get on the bike. Let's go throw the football.
Let's gather ourselves here. What has gone on in our lives?
The one time, do you remember NBA 2K series, right? The 2K, and it was combating with Live and all that stuff. I think 2K is actually the better one these days.
I think it probably has beaten it by a mile, right?
There was College Hoops.
Talk to my man Games for Less.
It was College Hoops 2K. And I was playing against show contributor Chris. It was sophomore year in college, and I did everything right. So we just played NBA, and we bought the college. I did the exact same things, and I guess it was too realistic. I shot 28% from the field. That's the one and only time I chucked a controller. I chucked it.
Well, we've all done some craziness.
Yeah.
That we're not proud of, especially in our youth.
It was very realistic, I guess. I was playing with Iona, but they were rated highly. But it was 26%. I was straight back and through.
You were straight on at the whole deal?
It was like when Tiger has the sensitive, swing stick. It was like right down the middle. And I couldn't score. It's
swing stick.
Yeah, the Xbox controller joystick.
Yeah, that one got to you.
You ain't kidding.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Speaking of which, it is Sawgrass TPC week, and I should note that this is it, gentlemen. Those of you who care about this sort of thing, meaning golf, A, B, the ability to go with your friends to a tournament as great as TPC Sawgrass, this is the last year you have to deal with this nonsense where it's during Mother's Day weekend. Love all the mothers out there. Love my wife, mother of my children, dearly. And thus, I'm not going to TPC Sawgrass, just like everybody else who would really like to, but, we can't.
If mothers weren't loved, we wouldn't be here.
That's right. So the whole deal is this. Next year they move it, right? It's next year? It is next year.
Next year,
yes.
Yeah,
All right.
March.
Whew! I am relieved. But I'm also relieved by the fact that, man, I'm telling you now, and this guy transcends the sport, so it's really important that this continue. Because a lot of people, when they hear us talking golf or hockey, they go, all right, checking out this segment. I'll be back when you get around to college football, college baseball, the NBA, something like that, Jeff. But, we're a hodgepodge, man. We talk about what I find interesting. That's how it rolls.
That time of year, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's one guy that you can talk about that people who don't even care about the sport will tune into, and, of course, that's Tiger Woods. And I'm telling you, I'm a sucker for these sorts of things, and I certainly root for it. But I think he has genuinely transformed before our eyes. I believe that he has had, whatever you want to call it, that moment of reflection, the come to Jesus meeting in his mind, whatever it is, that causes one to recognize they have got to legitimately change in their life, their behavior, their way of thinking, their daily activities, whatever it might be. Because yesterday, yet again, on display is a Tiger Woods filled with gratitude, willing to give hours, not minutes, not extra 2 questions, but hours of his time in a press conference. After a practice round, he's asked by the Golf Channel's lead reporter, interviewer, well, he's not, Sands is the lead one, but whoever the secondary guy is that I see at everything, can't remember his name. He does a good job, though. I should remember his name. Sorry about that, buddy. Anyhow, that guy, whoever he is.
Yeah.
I saw him under the tree at the Masters
I'll bet
time when I was at the Masters.
Is he a white guy?
Yes.
Dressed to the nines?
Yes.
Well, seems like he fits Golf Channel.
Yeah, but he's good. He's really good. He asks good questions. He's prepared, and he's good. So he was waiting for Tiger. And I actually have to tell you, I would find that very intimidating. I think waiting for Tiger would be intimidating. Like waiting there with a mic and he sees you with the mic and he's got to do the interview because you're Golf Channel. You've got the thing that says Golf Channel on it. Tiger, for a long, long time, A, didn't suffer fools, which is fine, but B, seemed very annoyed that he had to be there. And that's never fun for anybody involved. You're just doing your job. You have to ask questions, and it's the worst when the subject doesn't understand that or refuses to accept that and really won't play along because it's uncomfortable for all involved and it doesn't make for good television. So that's not who that guy is anymore, though. That guy can't wait to run over there and talk to you and spend legitimate time discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between, and mindset, and how he thought he legitimately played for a given day. That didn't happen for the larger part of his career. It never, seldom happened. Let's put it that way. That guy, I just putted terribly at the Masters, and it's left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't putt well again last week when I played. I've got to find a way to get more consistent with the putter. I'm really happy with my irons currently. I made a change, and I'm hitting them very well, and I've got a better distance control for that. And the thing with the putting is, this is not the guy we ever saw. And yesterday he sat up there at the dais and talked, and, he was going nowhere. For as long as you had questions, he was going to be there to answer them, and he didn't seem put out about it at all. The PGA Tour has to hope that this comeback, which has been, by and large, a huge success, 7 tournaments back, he's made 6 cuts. When you consider that he was obviously laid up not playing golf this time last year, that's a good comeback. He's got 2 top 5s to boot. That's huge, obviously. At Valspar, he's a putt away. So he's had legitimate chances to win on tour. He's had the 2 top 5s. He's got a bunch of top 25s. He's made 6 cuts. He's in the mix and legitimately talked about for reasons that involve golf, and then he's willing to accept and tell you about the lack of confidence he once had, the fear that he'd never be able to play again, the mistakes that he made, his legacy, his relationship with Phil, the relationship he has with the young players, what he likes about the game, and their players, other players that he likes on tour and whose game he can praise. This is a different cat.
Know what it is? Ceiling mirror.
He had the ceiling mirror way back when. I'm sure of it.
At the clinic, they had Basic Instinct on it. That's a great idea. Game changer.
So
total game changer.
I do believe that he's legitimately had a moment where maybe he hit rock bottom. Just the laying in bed thinking, you know what?
Nobody's coming to help me.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, he's on the side of a road with a cop hopped up on goofballs, unable to walk. And now he's contending and legitimately looking back at his career and talking about mistakes. Not those guys. Golfers don't ever want to admit mistakes, ever. They never hit a bad shot. It's always the caddy's fault or the wind's fault or the conditions of the green or the rough or whatever it was. It's rarely their own fault.
They're not conditioned to believe it's their fault.
Right. No, I understand. You can't let doubt creep into your mind, and you can't second-guess yourself, and thus that makes you emboldened in a way that is uncomfortable for those around you during the course of conversation, especially legitimate things that don't involve sport. Because I'm sure you have to carry that almost over into every walk of life while you're still playing. Maybe when you retire, you're able to take a step back and have a little fun at your own expense or be a little bit more out. But it's to me, it's a crazy transformation that I really never thought we'd see coming.
Well, have you shed light on that about being at Augusta and maybe somebody talk to somebody who would be behind the scenes?
Yeah, so, it certainly doesn't take much for me to bring up the fact that I was at Augusta, Tom, and that I did indeed.
Oh, this one's my fault.
To go
Clearly.
and explore the clubhouse there and had an opportunity to be in a room as Jack regaled us with talk of his time at the Masters and his brilliant career. That all happened at Augusta this year, in fact. But I was also at a party in which PGA Tour players were there, invited in addition to me. And I walk in, and the first player I see is Justin Rose, amongst others. And Justin Thomas sat across from me watching the NCAA championship game. And, yes, I was there at a party where his agent, Tiger Woods' agent, was the host. And I did overhear somebody say about Tiger two different things, two different times I heard this. One was at that party. What have you done to Tiger Woods? He's a different human being. And the agent say, he is. And it's not just for the cameras. It's not just when he's playing. It's not just in front of the fans. He goes, when I talk to him, he's different. He stops for people. He answers questions. Joe Public. Like he's walking somewhere. Tiger didn't have time for that nonsense. And to some extent, you can understand that. Players are so busy. They've got strict schedules. They got to get their rest and all that. But Tiger especially, because he transcended the sport for so long, a little bit like MJ in basketball or any number of other players, they had handlers, they have people, and they are blinders on, and you got to go, and I don't have time to talk to you, man. They get conditioned that way. And he was that way for a very long time. Not that way anymore. Just talking to people in the parking lot, talking to anybody who comes up to him, talking to his agent at length, talking to advertisers, people that, oh, this is my friend Jerry. He's always loved you. Oh, hey, Jerry. Nice to meet you. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's who he is. So this agent talked about that, said that he's a different guy on and off the course. That's who he is. But also, I did mention that Harry Ellis said that everything he signed while he was at Augusta, that, fans would come up to him and they have some sort of memorabilia, either from the Masters or a scorecard or something. So you can see which players have signed on there. Tiger Woods was the first name on there. He had signed for everybody. Everything Harry signed already had Tiger's signature on it, which there are only designated places at Augusta National where you can get lined up to get autographs. Means you had to walk through the throng of people as a player, and you have to willfully stand there and sign all of these things for people, which means he took a good chunk of time to do so.
Took the touch out of my hands with the putter.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
If we could only recreate that. Ridiculous. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Hobbit American Grill salutes Coach Mike Martin on becoming the all-time winningest coach in college baseball history. Hobbit American Grill, locally owned and operated since 1978. MyHobbitOnline.com.
I'm Fred Conrad, and I'm a criminal defense lawyer. For almost 20 years, I've been practicing DUI law in Tallahassee. Did you know if you're arrested for a DUI in Florida, your driver's license will be suspended regardless of whether you refuse a breath test or if you give a breath sample over the legal limit? And you only have 10 days from the date of the arrest to contest the suspension. Did you know in Florida, a DUI conviction will stay on your record for the rest of your life? If you've been arrested for a DUI, don't blow it. Call my office and talk to me today, 222-4005, or visit my website, fredconrad.com. I'll personally handle your case.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Texter writes in, yes, Dan, your homoerotic fixation with Larry Fitzgerald's butt is the problem.
You don't get the show.
Listen to me, and listen to me good. If Larry Fitzgerald's butt is ever the problem, I will quit this industry the way Mel Kiper said he would if Jimmy Clausen wasn't great. If you ever think that butt that I've been obsessed with for a decade, and I understand every old woman that grabs him in the mall because I've wanted to do it myself, he walks by with that sweet thing, and I want to grab it. And I don't care who knows it. I've told Larry Fitzgerald to his face. I've told him to his butt. I've told him on television. I've told him on the radio. I will keep saying it. This is my singular obsession. And the moment it's a problem is the moment ESPN and sports loses everything.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
So we still do that?
That's a legacy thing,
It
right?
is a legacy thing. We don't ignore the good there. At Jay Cameron Show, at _Tom Lang. ESPN recognizes esports. There's no such things, Trey. I know they call it that, but come on. You could probably have an affiliate expert weigh in. It's a wild, different kind of competition. Well, it's a competition. I'm not going to call it esports.
Okay, so I've gotten mixed up with some guys that play in the esports ranks because I'm pretty good
They
at the...
play in the esports, like they're competitors in an esports world?
Oh, you can make lots of money. There's tons of money.
No,
in
I
that.
know. It's on television. I know that there's a lot of people that follow it online. I'm telling you, I can tell I'm never going to get there, man. Who is watching these people play video games on television? Who's doing that? Can we stop? What the hell?
Allow me for a moment.
I'm just saying it's different than if okay, so this will sound weird, but you and your girlfriend live together and she's understanding of your gaming habits. Not that you're a freak gamer, but you like to play a little bit.
She likes the game.
Right,
Yeah,
right. I'm
yeah.
getting to it. I'm getting to
sorry.
it. No. All right. So you guys both like to play the game every now and then as a means of relaxation together, time well spent together. Good. I get it. I get that. I have a PS4 and a Wii U, and I think I'm getting that stupid Nintendo Switch soon enough.
It's actually pretty sweet.
Well, okay. So my kids, they play some. Now, I seriously regulate how much they can do it because I'd like them to be human beings and experience this life. So they have to go do things outside in the real world, but I let them play a little bit because I grew up playing. This is the first generation where we as parents were also gamers. I get all of it. I understand the joy of getting lost in a mindless game or one that makes you really think. I got all of it. And I play MLB The Show still. That's the only game I play, but I do play that. And I get it. It's a means of relaxation. So we'll if it's a weekend or something and we just really want to decompress, I'll throw on the music. I'll play the role of DJ, and me and my kids will play each other, and Christy will sit there and laugh, and occasionally she'll play some Mario Kart with us, and we'll have a few pops, and it's all a good night, and I'll grill out, and then we all go to bed. It was great family time. I get that. Who's turning on the TV to watch strangers play a damn video game? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I have watched 30 to 45 minutes of the Halo Championship, and here's why. Because I'm good at the game, but I want a couple of tips. What do these freaks do, these little 17, 18-year-old punks do that make them so good at the game? Because there are little hidden nuggets to the worlds you play in.
Couldn't you just look it up? Couldn't you just look it up online?
It's the same thing. You can YouTube it, and people will show you the little tricks. But these dudes make the decision so fast. That's it. That's all it was. I want to see. There were 2 or 3
But you're
maps.
not going to sit down and
No,
watch
no,
the contest.
No.
Every time I'm flipping around and something like that's on, you've got a bunch of people playing at once. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They're flipping around from TV to TV to TV or monitor to the monitor. You can't even see what the hell is happening. Moreover, why would you want? Yes, it's terrible.
So I've played, because what they do is they match you up when you play online with somebody of like skill. So I'm not the elite, but
You're just a notch below.
I'm the very good. So every once in a while you get paired above your weight class, and so you get to play with these people that are crazy good. It's the stupidest thing in the world how fast these people are. I mean, I get it.
So they haven't done anything else in a year but play that.
However,
right? You would have to be, right?
It's quite lucrative, though, if you can. The thing is, it's by the time you're 23 or 24, I read an article on this a couple of years ago, and I don't know if the numbers still bear out, but by the time you're, at the end of undergraduate age, college age, you're shot. You don't have the reaction time to do it.
Now, that actually does interest me because I'm interested in all things that involve, the different ages, the range of ages and performance and those that defy it and how they define that, eye-hand coordination, reaction time, all that stuff. That's fascinating to me just in general. Like, we know that as we age, eyesight and things like that begin to suffer and that happens to all of us. Very rarely are there exceptions. For the longest time, I had 20/15 vision. I used to love going to get the eye test done because I would just go in and read the last line instantly, almost bragging. Like, oh, we skipped this, buddy. I got this. And then one day, I couldn't do that. And it was very upsetting to me. And I was in my probably mid-30s. I was reading the paper, and I was in, back when you read the paper, I was reading the paper, and I was having to push it further and further away from my face to do so. And I thought, son of a bitch. This has started. And once it starts, it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. And so
that's the thought.
Hence, I get when
you get that it will never be better than it was.
Oh, that's right.
And it's not as good as it was right now.
Right. That's happened.
Ouch.
That's right. So there I am thinking about that. And so then I am curious how athletes overcome that at the highest level. Would probably refrain from calling these people on the video game systems athletes, but they are skilled. They do have a set of skills that will deteriorate, and I'm curious as to what age that normally happens.
It said, you really make your money in this world when you're in your late teens, early 20s. So you better cash in, and you better have been committed to it in high school. And that's
I wonder what the
are.
long-term effects are of being committed to being an elite video game star. Because I would think that you build up to that point where you make a lot of money in esports because somewhere along the way early in your life, 12, 13, 14, you were obsessed with playing games, you got good at it, you realized you had a talent for it. And so you're reinforced positively, and you think to yourself, okay, I'm good at this. And we tend to gravitate towards things we're good at. And so you go all in, but at the expense of what? An awful lot.
Well, it's the same thing as if you're an athlete. I mean, your body will be in better shape, but
I was going to say, except for you set your body up for life. A lot of people that were athletes in their youth, say gymnasts or cyclists or runners or anything.
Soccer players,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever it might be, they tend to be in really good shape in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They sustain it. Their metabolism changed because of it. Their body type shifted, and also it gave them a confidence that spilled over into their life in other arenas. Does that happen to an esports athlete? I don't know. I would think not, because you're adept at maneuvering the joystick faster than everybody else. Do you feel a lot better walking into a boardroom?
Well,
do you feel infinite confidence with the ladies if you're a young man because you're really good at shooting other people in a video game?
Well, who's to say in 10, 15 years what people value? I mean, Twitcher is one of those live streaming things where you can have your own channel and you play games and you show people how you play the game.
I know.
Kids log on to
Believe
it in
me,
droves.
I had my youngest son tell me that he aspired to be a YouTuber, like a career of being a YouTuber. And I said, well, I'll throw you in a ditch. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. What are you talking about? You want to be a YouTuber? I'm about, there are people who have a YouTube channel. They're millionaires. That's what they do. I'm like, yes, but well, I actually explained it better than the stuttering mess I just was there, but I was trying to be careful.
Yes, 8 seconds are only 8 seconds.
Yeah. But I was expressing my concerns with those aspirations, yes. What are you really attempting to be at that point? And what are you selling? What of yourself are you giving? What are you sacrificing? What is it that you are providing of any value as a YouTuber?
We're on YouTube. We're YouTubers right
now.
We're
on YouTube. It's not our – it's one of many ways in which –
YouTube's the new radio.
I like YouTube. I've got nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with YouTube. I like going to YouTube.
Maybe you'll have a top-rated YouTube show. You've got a top-rated radio show.
Yeah,
top-rated.
Thank goodness.
In case his YouTube career,
I don't think that YouTube career is going anywhere. I think the radio career is. And hold on for another 10 years, I'll be all right.
Man, did your parents ever look at you cross-eyed, stepdad,
about radio?
Stepmom, about working in radio?
No. There's value in entertaining people, certainly, and I'm not saying that the YouTubers don't do that either. Most of the YouTuber things that they've pointed to, I have a hard time seeing the entertainment value or talent that is requisite of the individual. A lot of it's a little bit like being famous for being the daughter of a man who started Hilton.
Well, maybe he'll be famous because he's the son of the great Jeff Cameron.
Maybe. And then I'll kick his ass out and make him do something. Good Lord.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, Your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Good, like me. It's $5. $5 to try it out, man. And it comes right to your crib. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Go to forhims.com/love. FORHIMS.com/love. ForHims/love. Go.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
For better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine, change your vehicle's oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. For good times and family fun, Tallahassee heads to the Fun Station. And right now, when you change your oil at Superlube, you'll get a $15 Fun Station gift card. You don't need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area Superlubes, there's probably one right around the corner right now.
How I love to Superlube my car. Yes, sir.
Beat the Heat, Tallahassee's only indoor soccer camp on a full turf field. All sessions will take place at the indoor facility on the campus of FSU June 11th through the 14th. The staff creates an environment that promotes soccer confidence, enjoyment, and good sportsmanship. Full and half-day options available. Registration is now open for boys and girls age 5 to 18. Camps are open to any and all entrants and are only limited by age, grade, number, or gender as listed in the camp description. To register, go to SeminolesSoccerCamps.com. That's SeminolesSoccerCamps.com.
Do you remember going to Tallahassee Tiger Shark games? How about the Silver Slipper for special occasions? Did you hang out at Mutt and Jeff's? Relive these great memories and more with a brand new t-shirt from Local Vintage. I'm Chet, the founder, and I want to personally invite you to visit my website, localvintage.com. That's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com. Hey, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and Father's Day is just around the corner. My super soft, made in the USA tees make great, unique gifts for mom and dad. Plus, here's a pro tip from me to you. Sign up for email, and you get a discount code good for 20% off your first purchase. That's right, 20% off your first purchase on the website. Go to localvintage.com now and get the apparel with home advantage. That's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com. Once again, that's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The only series still on the floor in the second round of the NBA playoffs takes center stage in Boston tonight. The Celtics host the 76ers with a 3-1 series lead. Trailblazers guard C.J. McCollum is impressed by the Celtics in this postseason.
Obviously, Terry Rozier's played well. Jason Tatum's played well. Jaylen Brown stepped up. But Brad Stevens' ability to draw up inbound plays, draw up ATOs out of timeouts, and get baskets or put people in a position to get baskets is what's ultimately been the difference in this series.
C.J. McCollum on Golic and Wingo. Boston goes for the series clincher tonight. Celtics guard Shane Larkin won't need surgery, but the team says he'll be out for the foreseeable future with a sprained left shoulder. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Super Bowl champion Eagles will sign running back Matt Jones, who was cut earlier this week by the Colts. Wideout Brandon Marshall in Seattle today visiting with the Seahawks. Marshall was cut by the Giants after failing his physical. Baseball tonight on ESPN at 7 Eastern. The Red Sox and Yankees to settle temporarily first place in the American League East.
If your big Mother's Day surprise consists of one well-crafted text message, you need to step it up with 1-800-Flowers. Right now, you can get 24 multicolored roses plus a free vase for only $29.99. To order, go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and enter code WILL.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday.
Balls you fire.
Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Sometimes, just sometimes, when the lines come out, the preseason win totals and the like begin to hit the bettors market, if you will, you get a sense of what odds makers are suggesting is going to happen in the NFL. And it's, of course, not set in stone. They do play the games for a reason, and injuries occur. Do you know that some of the offshore books and others have already gone through all 16 games for each team in the National Football League and decided how many games those teams would be favorites in? Which is really crazy because clearly you can't know. I mean, New England right now, I think the over-under was 11.5 games. That's just the totals. Well, if Tom Brady goes down in week 1, that's going to change the to win total considerably.
Well, yeah, for Cleveland, for example, it's not Terrell Pryor, but Tyrod Taylor, he used to be the receiver, is the quarterback now. But what if Baker wins the job? And how does that impact your win total for Cleveland? And does Baker take over in October, November? Never.
So it's really difficult when they do that to glean anything from it, except for if you look at trends, which I do find interesting in this way. So in the last few years, all the elite teams have gone over their projected win totals. So if New England was 11.5, they've won 12 or they've won 13. And across the board, the teams that were favored to win 10 or more games or 10 games or above, they all exceeded whatever the total was. The better teams exceeded it, and the sorrier teams in the league underperformed.
And that's trending going in because obviously you'd say, well, that's self-evident. Of course they're good. They won more than they're supposed to win.
Right. The last 3 years, I think it is, all the teams projected to win 10, 11 games won more than they were projected to, and the teams that were projected to win fewer than 5, or the win total was at 5, went under. So nobody exceeded low expectations, and everybody exceeded high expectations, right? So that's weird. It kind of speaks to a trend in Vegas in general, which is that the favorites are covering and winning a lot. If you think back to last year, you couldn't put a number high enough for a while there for New England, for people to take the dog.
No, it's been that way for the last few years. If you look at either New England or Seattle, remember Seattle when it was going good, some of those lines would get to about 15, 17.
Well, that is so well done, sir, because that's exactly where I was going. The Seattle Seahawks. You want to know what Vegas now thinks of the Seattle Seahawks? They have been favored to win 9 or more games. I think it's every year since they drafted Russell Wilson. Now, it wasn't always because of Russell Wilson, obviously, but they have been favored to win 9 or more games in every year since they drafted Russell Wilson. And you know how many games they're favored in this year?
6.
3.
3.
3.
3.
Speaks to that division, but
wow.
Yeah.
And that offensive line.
And where they're at, yeah. So those are things you can look at and go, ooh. Like if you're a Seattle fan and you see that may or may not come true, that you may not, but they're giving you a big picture look at what they think is going on in Seattle.
Well, you see,
and that's what I mean.
The perception versus the reality game, and if Vegas lines are reality, but they deal in facts more than they do hope. So obviously it's a big year for Tampa. And for Jameis.
Well, it's a murderous
Dirk,
start to the schedule, yeah.
And obviously Light. So you could have dead man walking at the head coach and GM positions if things don't go well this year, if they don't make the playoffs or at least have a 9-7 record, whatever. Vegas says 6.5 for the win total.
Well, Yeah, and I think part of that has to do with the fact, again, we've had this discussion. If you are a fan and you care deeply about your team turning it around or sustaining excellence or wherever you're at on that spectrum, look at the quarterbacks you face and when do you face them? The Bucs begin the season with at New Orleans, home to Philadelphia, home to Pittsburgh. Hall of Fame quarterback, elite quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback. Well, damn, man. Couple that with the teams that begin their season 0-3. What are they all time in whether or not they make the playoffs?
One did it?
It's very low percentage of teams that start 0-3. Plenty have gone 0-2. Very few go 0-3 and then make the playoffs. So you're facing two Hall of Fame quarterbacks and a Pro Bowler in the first 3 weeks of the season. Now, I'll grant you get Chicago after that, but it's at Chicago, and we'll see how much better Trubisky is than he was a year ago. But then you're at Atlanta, another Pro Bowl quarterback. I don't know. I mean, Matt Ryan may end up in the Hall of Fame if he has 4 or 5 more good seasons. So you're talking about a guy who certainly projects in that direction. Good Lord, before it dies down when you get Cleveland and Cincinnati,
right,
et cetera, you could be staring 1-4, 1-5 in the face, and you're not coming back from that because then we know what infiltrates the locker room. Then we know what happens with all the outside noise, and you're not going to be able to typically keep it together if you have that kind of disastrous start. So it's absolutely imperative to Tampa Bay that they begin the season no worse than 2-2 in these first 4 games. They got to win either at New Orleans, home to Philadelphia, home to Pittsburgh. They got to win one of those and then win on the road against Chicago. And then you kind of reset if you're 2-2 through 4 because, A, it's the bye week, and then, B, you get Atlanta followed by Cleveland. You should go 1-1 in that. Then it's at Cincinnati and at Carolina. Got to go 1-1 in that. Then you're home to Washington. Should win that. At New York, toss-up. Home to San Francisco. Oof. That looks a lot tougher this year than it did 2 years ago or last year. Home to Carolina, home to New Orleans, at Baltimore, at Dallas, and then home to Philadelphia. I know that it's fool's gold to sit around and try to project what every team's going to be in the NFL as we sit here May the 9th. But everybody's doing this with their team now. Everybody's looking, okay, well, I got to bridge the gap. I got to get to July where I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And one of the ways you do that is to sit around and look at that schedule and project wins and losses and to think about players that will step up for you and those that won't. And then simply what is possible, what's reasonable to expect given a schedule. And it's hard to sit here in May and tell you that even a healthy Jameis Winston in a better situation is going to be able to do much better than 9-7 with that brutal-ass schedule.
Yeah, we were talking, and by we, I mean myself and a potential client for the fall. We were having a business meeting. You get out ahead of these things. For those of you that, in the media business, you want to be done with football season, by the time you get to the middle of the summer at the latest. And we were talking about pro versus college football because this is a person who does work with pro teams and pro businesses that cover teams. And he said, man, what they tell me is that after June, that's really when things for the NFL get going. And for the Bucs, you could really sell that this year because your playoffs are essentially the first month of the season. For us, I explained, when you have a killer weekend game to get out the opening weekend game to get out the gates, like we do with Virginia Tech, like we did last year with Alabama, the interest starts much sooner because there's an urgency. But if you play a couple of FCS teams or an FCS team in Wake Forest, and then you play Miami week 3, then it's almost like in college football, you have your own version of the preseason. But that's not the case for Florida State this year, and that's certainly not the case for the Bucs this year. I mean, it is right out the gate. You better be locked in. And as a fan, it's a weird feeling for an NFL team. Usually you can get into the balance of the season, middle of October, before you make a judgment. But it might be too little too late by the time you get to the middle part of October if you don't take care of business with the September schedule.
Well, and I was looking at other teams who face something as brutal. Think about if you're the New York Giants and Eli, you bring in, you make the draft that you do, the pick that you do, and the expectations with Saquon Barkley as a workhorse in New York, whatever that might look like, okay? And maybe Eli has one more good year in him. They start with the Jags. Okay, that's not the defense you want to start with. And as a rookie, Saquon, good luck against that defense, right? Then they're at the Cowboys, at the Texans, the Saints, and then at the Panthers, and then home to the Eagles. Good God, man. I mean, the NFL, I mean, some of this is your division. I got it. But damn, man.
Good luck with that, Clifford.
Right. And I did this for a lot of teams. I was going through kind of like who the NFL did some favors for, and they didn't. And I think Tampa Bay and the Giants kind of start with a get flexible. I mean, that's a toughie. I mean, good God.
Get flexible is a new one.
I think, yeah, anyhow, we're in May, and I know I'm doing this now. But those win totals, yeah, you're silly to run to the window and try to make a bet here. But what you can do is get a very good feel for what the Sharks are saying is going to happen with these organizations just based on number of games they're favored in. Just number of games they're favored in. Of course, that you can't pinpoint that in May and say, well, they'll win that Eagles game, they'll cover that Falcons game, and they'll lose the 49ers cover. They won't cover that number. Well, the number isn't the thing. How many games are you favored in? If you went from being favored in 10 games a year ago and you're favored in 3, obviously Vegas is telling you, don't expect much, guys.
But overall, though, just from a fanship standpoint, we talked about this in the playoffs last year. It feels like the tides are changing. We're in the middle of something here. Brady and Belichick, their time is soon going to come to a close. And then you have your situation in Pittsburgh where Le'Veon Bell, he's on a 1-year renewable lease. He doesn't like that. Ben, who knows? He's kind of a head case. But it seems like Mike Tomlin gets out-coached more often as the years go by, right?
Yeah.
Jacksonville has come to play.
They're really good, yes.
They don't have their quarterback yet, but it seems like Jacksonville is rising. Obviously, the Rams out west are deciding to go all in the NFC. Atlanta's fallen off a little bit in years past.
But they'll be good again. And they just brought in Calvin Ridley, and if he turns out to be the real deal.
If he does, that's certainly going to help, but that's a boom or bust draft pick, is it not?
Yeah, I'm not in love with it, but obviously they love him, so.
It just seems like there's a lot.
I mean, you are giving a Pro Bowl quarterback an added weapon, is all I'll say.
The guys you could set your watch by, the franchises you could set your watches by, it seems like, man, the NFC West, once again, is a division that has a brand new rivalry. A few years back, it was San Francisco-Seattle. It didn't get any better than that. For a little while there, it was Baltimore and Pittsburgh. But now it looks like it's going to be the Rams and the 49ers. It's just and obviously Philly is the defending champ. I mean, the Eagles have never won a Super Bowl until this year, and they will be picked to be right back there with a better quarterback than they had this past season. So it just seems like when you're trying to do win totals and applying it to Vegas,
win totals is tough.
There's a lot of moving parts coming into this year.
Win totals are tough, but I will at least take a cursory glance at how many games teams are favored in, even in May. Just a feel for, hey, you're favored in 2 games. It doesn't matter which 2. You're favored in 2 games. Tons of things, you're right, are going to change. I mean, people are going to get hurt in camp, all that. But, I mean,
the AFC is just wacky. I mean, New England is the favorite in the East. But if you think about out west in the AFC, Kansas City blew it up. They said goodbye to Alex Smith. Mahomes, there's no way that's an upgrade in year 1.
Not in year 1.
No.
Maybe long term, but not in year 1.
You got Chucky out in Oakland. It better work now or it's not going to work, period. And then San Diego, you've got an aging Phillip Rivers. So what's going on out there? Then in Houston, Deshaun Watson comes back. What exactly is he? Indianapolis can never trust its quarterback. Tennessee's kind of interesting.
Indianapolis' quarterback is still not throwing a grown man's football.
So
it's bizarre to me that we're still having this conversation. Andrew Luck still hasn't thrown a full-sized football, a regulation football. If I hand you a full-size football and we go in that parking lot, you and I can sling it back and forth.
Yes,
you know who can't? Andrew Luck.
Then you have in the AFC South, obviously Jacksonville is the class of that division, but Tennessee and Houston battling. In the North, Baltimore, not getting any better. Cincinnati, not really getting any better. Cleveland, maybe. Maybe Cleveland's climbing to 8-8, 7-9 status.
Maybe. That is going to be one of the ones where you say, I'll wait and see. I mean, how many times have we said that about Cleveland? There have been indicators where you thought they were making good moves or they had a chance to be average.
Maybe this is their Matt Millen experience.
Aspire to be average, perhaps. By the way, that Falcons depth chart you're talking about, it's still pretty impressive. When Matt Ryan's your starting quarterback and you can hand the ball to Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman and turn around and throw it to Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and Calvin Ridley.
Well, you better.
Well, we're assuming Calvin Ridley will be something. We'll see.
He'll draw a lot of singles.
Yeah, and he can fly. Now, he drops the ball. And again, I've never wanted a receiver that I take in the draft to be described as really fast but has a problem catching the football.
Seemed like a lot of things got a lot harder when Kyle Shanahan went out west for them, though.
Let's hope that's the case, Tom. Let's hope that trend continues. I think they were just having a hangover, too. I can't possibly have been real chipper about the way that's what it is. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
For me or my brother Peter. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Craft difference. Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Craft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if you don't see the Craft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Is your car's AC keeping you cool? With Tallahassee's summer season here to stay, stop in now to any auto and tire super service center and take advantage of their $69 AC recharge special. That's right. Visit any auto and tire super service center and recharge your car's AC for just $69, keeping you and your family cool all summer long. Visit any of their 5 auto and tire super service centers, locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years.
Tallahassee Family Magazine salutes Coach Mike Martin on becoming the all-time winningest coach in college baseball history. Congrats, Coach, from Tallahassee Family Magazine.
For better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine, change your vehicle's oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. For good times and family fun, Tallahassee heads to the Fun Station. And right now, when you change your oil at Superlube, you'll get a $15 Fun Station gift card. You don't need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area Superlubes, there's probably one right around the corner right now.
How I love to Superlube my car, yes sir!
I'm Fred Conrad, and I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I believe your freedom is too important to trust to an inexperienced lawyer. For over 20 years, I've successfully defended those accused of DUI, drug offenses, and a host of other misdemeanor and felony offenses. My office is located in my hometown, and as a third-generation Tallahassee native, former local prosecutor and law enforcement instructor, I have the skills and experience necessary to handle your case. When you call my office, you will talk to me, and I'll personally handle your case. So don't blow it. Call me at 222-4005 or go to fredconrad.com.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Live from the AmeriGas propane studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday. Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. But, hey, if you do, we got you covered. All 3 hours going to be posted upon the conclusion of the program, both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. You can always email the show if you like. It's JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at J Cameron Show. Also at 979 ESPN Radio if you want to see the show periscoped. And if you want to watch the show on YouTube, feel free. Go to YouTube, type in ESPN Tallahassee, and you shall find us. All right. That was weird. In the middle of May, we're just prattling on about the National Football League, much to the chagrin, I'm sure, of a number of people, but I found that fascinating, actually.
Can you please talk about college baseball?
Well, I mean, right now, I don't know what you want me to say about college baseball. I feel like the Noles missed out on a huge opportunity, squandered away a 4-2 lead there at Clemson, and then obviously gave up the walk-off, which, by the way, that was not tapped. That ball was hit hard. That ball was hit with some force. Yeah. That ball was driven.
A little gusto.
It had a little what for. You know, if you're old school and you saw the celebration from the young man for Clemson who hit the ball into the stratosphere, you thought to yourself, well, that ought to earn you a throw at the head. Maybe not the head, middle of the back, ribs, repeatedly.
Middle of the back.
Middle of the back, as hard as you can throw it, as many times as you see him in his career from this point forward, because he really did savor the moment. I mean, savor the moment. Here's the thing. I got no problem with a bat flip within reason. I don't have much of a problem of the leaping and all the nonsense coming down the third baseline to home that guys now do in both the majors and in college baseball. I mean, it's a crazy, everybody's hopping at home plate, and then it's a slow, demonstrative thing, and I'll get there eventually.
Unless you're Kendrys Morales, and then you're not playing the rest of the year.
Yeah, then you blow out your knee, right. But I can live with all of that because, first of all, by that time, most of the time in a walk-off situation, the opposing team's already off the field. By the time you reach third, they're in the dugout. They're not watching any of that. They know there's a crazy celebration going on behind you. It was the standing at home plate, not walking, jogging, moving in any way, shape, or form towards first base for in excess of 5 seconds that would earn you a rib shot without question. I mean, you're going to have to wear, in the ACC tournament, if we come around, you're going to have to wear that. You're going to have maybe an elbow. If I can break your wrist, I'm doing it too. Whatever I got. I mean, it gets a little bit more.
The wrist?
Yeah, I'm going to try to break
mess with his hands?
Yeah. But I play for keeps, man. If I'm throwing at you, I'm throwing at you now. We're not, you're not standing at home plate for 5 seconds and then staring into your dugout. No.
Well, if you're throwing it at hands, you may as well be throwing at the head. Same kind of small vicinity.
No. The head, you could kill somebody, man. The hands are way down here. You'll be all right. You can get to the hands. These guys are good. They're talented. Remember when Pedro used to throw at A-Rod's hands or Jeter's hands?
Jeter, yeah.
Oh, I was always very impressed. But he had that riding fastball.
Oh, it was a two-seamer. I thought.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I meant to throw four-seam.
Yeah, sorry about that. It happens. Karim Garcia. Who are you? Who is Karim Garcia? Still one of my favorites. Just straight up throwing at Karim Garcia on the regular.
Who
is Kareem Garcia?
One of the first times that Sports Century had like a really funny clip, because Sports Century was usually about talking on balance about the greatest things of the last, 100 years,
right.
Obviously. But then here's Pedro talking about a current event, just challenging Kareem Garcia's manhood.
Well, repeatedly.
Who are you? Who are you, Kareem Garcia, to try to test Pedro Martinez, a proven player for 10 years?
He refers to himself in the third person.
Who are you? Who are you, Kareem Garcia, to try to test Pedro Martinez, a proven player for 10 years?
That's right. Who are you to test Pedro Martinez? Just once, wouldn't you like to get away with that? Like be teaching an intern about how to run the board, and they ask you a question that kind of a little over the top. You're like, question Tom Lang? Who are you to question Tom Lang's prowess on the board? It would just be fun to say. It'd be terrible.
It's a good fantasy team name, Tom Lang's prowess on the board.
You know what I did do in the realm of bringing it back to collegiate athletics and Florida State in particular? I found myself, look, this is what's going to happen when you're looking at the position-by-position recruiting outlook and all of that. When I look at offensive line, I get caught up only looking at offensive line. There were 4 offensive linemen in the 2018 class, right? And, I have to be the defensive line whisperer, but you told me that you wanted me to shift over to be the offensive line whisperer.
Yes, we could use that.
We could use more in the way of talented, sizable offensive linemen. For years, I made it happen. I was personally responsible for a number of great commitments on the defensive line. And now you'd like me to be personally responsible for a number of great commitments along the offensive line. Now, we already have Dante Lucas as the IMG kid. So I can't go that route. I can't say that I did anything with that. No, that's all Willie and the staff doing a great job. Greg Fry and the boys. 6'3", 330 pounds is Dante Lucas.
War daddies.
Yeah, that's a big man, right? It's a big man. We have another kid that they say is supposedly a defensive commitment, a defensive end commitment that a lot of people think will be an offensive lineman.
Okay.
And he's a kid at 6'6", 275 pounds.
War daddies.
Builds into a tackle's frame.
That's right.
Doesn't sound like a center, Jeff.
No, he does not. No, long-armed, if you will. But then I went and I looked at all the people that were on the boards. You could go to any of these recruiting sites, all the guys that Florida State's looking at. And, man, I don't know how in the world anybody – you can't play football anymore unless you are absolutely a bona fide giant. There's a guy. I don't even know if he can play, but he's at IMG, that we're recruiting named Evan Neal. Have you heard of this guy?
Yes.
He is 6'7", 390 pounds.
War daddies.
6'7", 390 pounds. That doesn't sound like a reasonable size and weight.
Yeah, may I say I'm concerned about this person's ability to show up on campus for fear of him dying? That seems like a lot of weight for anybody.
Yeah, I don't know that you can just roam this world at nearly 400 pounds and be healthy.
And you have a metabolism of a teenager? Come on now.
That is wackadoo to be that big. And who's blocking that who's going up against that in high school? Good Lord. Well, there's another kid, Xavier Truss, that we're looking at. He's 6'7", 325 pounds.
War daddies.
Now, I would think that he would end up committing somewhere. He's from the Northeast. I would think he'd end up committing at a place like Penn State or Ohio State or something like that. But 6'7", 325. I don't know anymore. These guys are also massive. So I'm going to have to look at these guys and perhaps some JUCOs to boot and tell you which one in the coming days that I think that I'll make sure we get a commitment from. I'll get out in front of this for you.
Well, a phone call or two wouldn't hurt, right?
I'm not allowed to do that. That they frown upon those kinds of things. That's
to a coach. You can call anybody's coach.
All right. So you want me to call some coaches?
There you go.
You want me to call that? I want to call the Evan Neal kid's coach at IMG. He's a former Alabama commitment.
Former.
He's opened his recruitment, and he's 6'7", 390. I think if I'm going to procure a commitment from somebody, he ought to be larger than life. 6'7", 390.
Worst case, He plays the zero tech.
You just
on the
put
other
his
side.
fat ass over the center and just say, stand there, you fat ass.
So
what are they going to do?
Even when you get O-line, you actually might get D-line.
Remember Mount Cody in Alabama? You're like, what are you going to do with that? I remember Gilbert Brown in the NFL. You're like, well, that's just ridiculous. That guy's not even an athlete. He's just fat. You can't move him.
He absorbed the Gatorade bottle when he was drinking it. It just disappeared into his flesh.
I was always so disheartening. You're like, well, you're not really special. You're just born as a massive individual. I know it takes some skill to be able to hang in there against incredibly strong foes and hold your own and not be rooted up out of there, but it does help to be 380 pounds.
Well, and he did have a quota of plays. He couldn't be out there for so many consecutive plays.
He certainly couldn't be. All right, the matchup we've been pining for a very long time has happened. We have to wait till Monday in order to truly celebrate it, get after it, talk about it, but it's going to happen, and I am legitimately, as I said to you in the 3 o'clock hour, pumped for Houston and Golden State. I do see that as a viable 7-game series. I'm not one of these media types that I've heard this week so far. There was an afterthought. It was a foregone conclusion, certainly, that both Houston and Golden State would close out their series. We all knew that they would. But then they took it a step further. Time and again, an outright dismissal of a 60-plus game winner and 1 seed in the form of Houston that is not the Houston we've seen in the past. Chris Paul's a really good player, and he played great last night and continues to be a guy that I think can be the right-hand man to James Harden in a series like this that forces the action to 6 or 7 games. I couldn't believe how many people just outright gave them no chance. I think that's a hell of a series.
It could be. I think we'll know. You got to see them play each other when it matters.
Well, you got to look for the matchups. You got to find what works, what doesn't.
Okay, this is a conversation I have a lot recently with friends and family, when it comes to hockey playoffs. It's the same thing in pros. You may catch somebody on a back-to-back. You may catch somebody in the midst of a 3 or 5 game road trip, and you've been home for 2 or 3 games. The regular season circumstances aren't dire. Right. Houston knew it was going to have home court. If not for the entire playoffs, for most of the playoffs. Golden State's not afraid. They don't really care. They've proven it, so the regular season doesn't matter. The same thing in most sports. When you play somebody and you have to scheme for somebody in a best-of-7 or a best-of-5 series, it changes everything. Scouting reports, you don't want to show them what secret you have for them on a Wednesday in February. So you got to see the way the rotations work and how every little thing is managed on Monday. That's when you'll have the first good picture of it. By the time they get going back to Golden State next week, which is after Wednesday's game 2, we'll have a good idea how this thing's going to play and whether or not it's Houston needs to just be red hot from behind the arc or if there's something more to it that Houston presents fundamentally that gives Golden State problems.
Again, matchups are everything there. Yeah, they're going to shoot the 3. It's what they do. It's what they want to do. And I joked earlier that, hey, listen, shoot 53s. Okay, fine, do that. But you're going to have to get something out of Ariza, obviously. And Eric Gordon is a guy that's a really weird kind of wild card in this because on one night, Eric Gordon scoring you 5 points. The next, he's scoring you 25. I mean, literally, that's who he is. He's kind of all over the map. So what do they get from him? The other...
Who's Draymond tormenting?
Right. And, fringe matchups are going to be a big part of it. I just, as somebody who thinks to himself that, hey, listen, you can go back to before the 82-game regular season began. So, in essence, this has been a 6-month prelude. That's bad for the NBA, by the way. As an aside, can we just talk about that? I mean...
It's been 5 years of it, maybe more.
The foregone conclusion before this year began, and nobody worth a damn truly thought that any of the moves that Oklahoma State made... Oklahoma City made were legitimately going to make them contenders. Right. I mean, that was pretty comical, right? So you knew better than that. This damn Apple Watch gets me every time, Tom. So I've got to find a way to make that go off, and I forget to do that. But, so nobody thought they were serious contenders. But we all figured, well, look at what Houston's done. Chris Paul, this is going to be very interesting. This could be the juggernaut matchup we've wanted to see. And then it's played out that way. There were a few moments during the course of the year that gave you pause to say, wow, Utah's surprising this year. And, oh, by the way, the Pelicans are interesting. And, but we all knew Houston, Golden State was what we're going to get. I don't like knowing 6 months in advance what the hell the Western Conference Finals is going to look like.
Yeah. No,
but you sure as hell do.
You do. And for me, what this series is going to look like, and I agree, you're breaking it down early, trade deadline moves, free agency moves, whatever it is. It's all about beating one other team. And it happened with Miami in the East for so long. Indiana rose up for a year or two and challenged, but they didn't do enough to beat Miami. Boston was there in the beginning of Miami's time with the Big Three. And then when Boston was there as a Big Three, and Orlando would challenge what the Celtics were doing. Yeah, so we've gone through about a decade of this. The Lakers were that way with Kobe. But what I'm interested to see is how easy is it to get to the basket for Golden State? How easy is it to operate near the basket for Draymond, and how easy is it for KD to get to the rim?
Well, Houston's long and lean, Capella, those guys.
Right.
That's why I think it's actually their defense that I think is the more interesting aspect of this series.
Yeah, does KD have to have his shooting shoes himself, or can he create? I mean, I know that he's an elite player, but you get what I'm saying. Is it open for business?
I completely get what you're saying. And by the way, he's played a lot of minutes at center and been really good with that. I want to see how they play him. But the problem is there's nobody that really, this is why KD's so damn good. He's a matchup nightmare. Who's the one guy that you're going to look at that roster for Houston that's going to guard him? There ain't nobody. There's nobody that's going to do it consistently.
You can make it difficult, or it can be.
Well, you have to.
He can choose whichever he wants, depending I feel hot from 3 tonight, I'm going to shoot the 3, or I could just get to the 10. No big deal. You're right. That's the storyline. It's about what does Houston's defense present in the way of challenges. Steph's going to get his. Clay will be off and on. But what does KD have to do, and how much does Draymond play a role near the basket?
Yeah, it's Houston's defense. That's true. I think you can say that. And there are so many role players that are long and lean and switch and play the way that would give people trouble in the paint and matchups that it could at least slow them down. I still feel like it's going to be interesting the other way, because obviously Houston wants to shoot the 3, but these are the 2 best offenses in the NBA. They're 1-2. But they go about it differently. They both shoot a lot of threes, yes, but there's a lot of isolation with Houston, and I wonder will they continue to do that, because I don't think that that's going to be enough. That's why I'm talking about a 3rd player or a 4th player to be an added dimension as a scorer. You assume
Golden State's going to generate open looks through movement, yes.
Yeah, and you assume also that I think, rightfully, on Houston's side of things, where you'd like to believe it better be that way, that Harden and Paul are going to do their thing. Who's that 3rd person? Well, you got candidates, but I do think various guys that are considered quote-unquote role players are going to have their 20-point night, take turns doing that, because you almost have to have a 3-headed monster the way that team does, the way that Golden State does. It's so frustrating, I would think, too, to be in the West right now. The East is decidedly more interesting in the sense that moving forward, where does LeBron go? The Sixers are getting their learning experience now. Lesson learned this year in the playoffs, assuming they don't come all the way back from a 3-0 deficit. We'll see if Boston closes out tonight, which they'd be wise to, because if this gets to 3-2, it's going to get to 3-3. And then, of course, I would say that, next year Boston will be healthy at this point. So, and what does Toronto do now, which was something that we talked about yesterday or Monday is do you blow it up, which ordinarily you'd say is kind of absurd when you were the 1 seed to just blow it up. But imagine how disheartening this question is for Ainge is about the only one right now who's handling it well. For every GM, every guy that's got to put together something in the East, when at the end of the day you look in the mirror, you say, until LeBron James begins to slide, it doesn't matter what I roll out there.
Well,
and it hasn't
But there's
mattered.
an heir apparent. It wouldn't have been enough for LeBron if Boston was operating with its roster, with its 5. So you've got a problem.
Probably not.
You've got the next answer, and then Philly's there. So if you're not one of those teams, what the hell do I do?
I will be intrigued to see the decision that he makes. And once again, we'll go through this.
LeBronto.
Yeah. Where is he? No, he's not doing that. Those weak-minded suckers. Good
I will
Lord.
change the nation of Canada.
That ain't happening. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
What if hiring could be easier, with more qualified candidates and faster results? What if hiring could be smarter? Thanks to ZipRecruiter, it can be. With one click, post your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, their smart technology notifies the most qualified candidates to apply. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/expand. That's ZipRecruiter.com/expand.
Nukes Eatery congratulates Coach Mike Martin on becoming the all-time winningest coach in college baseball history. Nukes with 2 Tallahassee locations, online at nukes.com.
Oh no! My lunch has been ravaged by ants.
Go to Bandito's Burritos. Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
At Advance Auto Parts, we offer you the quality parts you want and knowledge you need to help get you back on the road. And we're always looking for ways to help you save. Right now, get CarQuest conventional motor oil for just $2.96 a quart. Talk about an amazing price. Plus, find great prices on CarQuest's full line of motor oil. Go to Advance or participating CarQuest Auto Parts stores to take advantage of this great offer while it lasts. Advance Auto Parts, where oil is priced like it should be.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting events? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Say what, it's the boy Big Snoop D-O-double-G. And I got a very special message to the players. That's right, to the males. Sexual performance issues are more common than you think. Maybe not for me, but probably for you. Over 25% of new ED cases are guys under 40. So what do you do if you suffer from ED? Go to 4hims.com, the wellness brand for men, so you can look good, feel good, and perform well in the bedroom. You dig? Thanks to science, E to the D can be optional. Say, man, don't be embarrassed. Guys should take better care of themselves. Look good, feel good, live good, like me. It's $5. $5 to try it out, man. And it comes right to your crib. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Go to 4hims.com/love. FORHIMS.com/love. For him/love. Go.
With this job, having 2 hands won't cut it, which is why I thank the stars I have a third. Grainger. When my 2 hands are full, I fully rely on Grainger. They're America's #1 source for industrial-grade supplies. So, whether I'm fixing a furnace or fastening a faucet, Grainger hands me what I need when I need it, which makes me a pretty lucky guy. Because when it comes to needing an extra hand, Grainger's got your back. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Eat, sleep, fish. Mike's Marine Supply and Skeeter Boats want to get you out on the open water. They're your local Skeeter dealer, custom rigged with the Yamaha outboards. Stocked with a full line of Skeeter boats from the Bass to the Saltwater Bay series, Skeeter has been recognized for 18 consecutive years as the leader in customer satisfaction for fiberglass outboard boats. Check in at Mike's Marine Supply for the spring specials starting soon. Located at 1296 Coastal Highway, Panacea, Florida, call Mike's Marine at 984-5637. Online at mikesmarinetallahassee.com.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. At Jay Cameron Show, at _Tom Lane. Get off my lawn much? You rarely show your age in this way. Nicely played, Trey. People used to consider that ball players were just playing a game and couldn't understand the paycheck. Thanks for the smiles, loyal listener. Yeah, that was our video game discussion. But I also, as you noted, Trey, in my response to you just now during the break, prefaced my comments by noting the age difference. My issue, as I say to you here, isn't with an avid video game enthusiast, if you will, but rather those sitting around watching him play a video game. That's really more what I'm getting at. I mean, damn it, man. And there are people who do that for hours. And yes, maybe it is age difference, but I find it infinitely more fascinating to see people defy what you would say physically can't be done, right? People running certain times, jumping a certain height, endurance, sports, things that require both a mental and physical aspect that pushes the limits.
I agree with you there, but that's not that kid's fault that he can't dunk. So at least he's getting paid for doing something else.
I don't blame the players. I don't blame the people that get excited about sitting down and shooting fake bullets at one another with laser guns in their controllers while they all cheer wildly.
At least they're shooting fake ones.
Yeah, that's true. And people are watching them do just that for hours.
On Twitcher. Live on Twitcher or ESPN2 now, yeah.
Is that what it's called, Twitcher?
Twitcher is the, yeah. So I was told by somebody, hey, check out Twitcher. I thought, what is this? But that's
anymore. You have to ask that question. Right?
Yeah.
What am I checking out? I said, are you playing a joke on me?
Right. I sound like my dad with when AOL dial-up came in. Is this one of them sex sites?
Oh,
I was like, no. Twitcher is just when you. I mean, I suppose, but you could do the live streaming of what you do with video games. So they carried the Halo World Championships, Jeff. So, like I said, when I cross paths with these jokers who are not messing around, I just wanted to know, what do they see differently?
What are they looking at? What are they doing different? Yeah.
So I want to see on their screen if they're cheating, or obviously they aren't, but those kids are just.
I didn't ask you this earlier, and I should do so now. Did you see the Aroldis Chapman 103-mile-per-hour fastball that unfortunately hit Jackie Bradley Jr.?
Oh, no. Sorry.
Jeez Louise, man. I'm not doing it. I've watched it. He's hitting from the left side. Chapman throws from the left side.
So you got even less time.
It's ribs. It's dead in the ribs. He does actually have enough time, oddly enough, to do the right thing, which is to turn inward towards towards home plate. He actually recognizes a 103-mile-per-hour fastball that he knows it's wayward. And
this may not be, but I'm not taking any chances.
Well, yeah, and he turns in and just straight wears it. The quote after the game from Bradley is interesting. It didn't feel bad, honestly. I don't want him to try it again, but it doesn't hurt that bad right now. And then he joked, holler at me after the plane ride, though. I was telling some of the guys, good thing I got my morning lift in because it might have went through me. Ball probably still has some bone marrow juice on it. It's a funny line, by the way, but ouch.
Had some time to think about that while he was getting iced up.
Now, yeah, I got to say, again, It's always worried me when I watch Chapman take the hill because he, in the beginning, was wild. I mean, you go all the way back to his Reds days.
Yes.
You're going, he's not real sure where
Starter,
that's
closer kind of a thing. Yeah.
He's not real sure where that's going. I don't feel good about a guy who's not real sure where that's going at 103, 104. Ouchie.
Well, and if you believe certain reports about legal entanglements, he might be a little loose mentally, too, with what you should and should not do. I don't like this guy. I can't predict him.
I don't like the idea of anybody who's a little wild throwing triple digits, and I got to stand there and lock in at an at-bat. And the thing that professional baseball players do that I have always admired from the time I was a little kid to even still to this day is they get hit fairly regularly, and yet when they get back in the box, oftentimes show no ill signs of that having happened. I mean, no real remnants of that can be seen in their necks. They're not, when you watch little kids, and now I am because my kids are playing baseball, when you watch a little kid get hit by a baseball, obviously you feel terrible for them, and any of us who grew up playing Little League, we all got hit. But you remember when you did, first of all, it hurts. It's a baseball. It hurts. Even if you're throwing 40 miles per hour, it hurts.
Even if it goes off the muscle, yeah.
It does. It freaking hurts. It just does. There's no getting around that. Nope. All right, so it hurts, but also it scares the bejesus out of kids. It just does. And
sure does.
And I every time we get into this discussion, I love it. But yeah, it hurts, and it sticks with you. It sticks with you for a while. Like the next at-bat for sure, but oftentimes the next game, the next couple of games. And so when you watch a kid in the box, his first move is to start to step out. As the kid moves towards the plate, begins his motion, the pitcher moves towards home plate, you'll see a kid he's starting to bail. And you can't get a hit that way. I mean, you got no chance to get a hit that way if we're bailing before the ball is ever thrown. And I'm always mindful of this. It's so easy when you're sitting outside in the bleachers to say to your son, oh, hang in there. Don't be bailing on me. You hang in there. Come on. If it's coming at you, you turn in. It's okay. You just
good job, Bryce. Get out of there. Get out of there.
So it's easy to say it, but being mindful of what it's like to get hit, I do marvel at how easy it is for a professional baseball player just to get back in the box. I know they've been doing it their whole life. You get hit with 103, get hit with 90. No, man, I would be a mess. And that's, one of many reasons I'm not out there. But I don't know how people aren't. That hurts.
I mean,
no, it hurts to get hit in football, but it's in the course of a play. It's part of the game. You're getting hit on every play.
There's a lot of money, There's a lot of money here. And your body
but you can't override. You got to short circuit your brain. There's a natural instinct to protect yourself.
Well, I would think you've been taught how to get hit over the course of time.
Oh, you certainly know how to get hit.
With not 40 miles an hour. I mean,
no, you know how to get hit. All these guys, even the kids that have been playing for a number of years in Little League, actually show the ability to get hit the proper way. They don't ever do that thing where you open your body up to get hit. When you don't know what you're doing, you open yourself up. If you're a right-handed hitter, you open yourself up towards the pitcher. That's the wrong way to get hit. They teach you first couple of years, turn that left shoulder back.
Some people do.
Turn towards the catcher so that you're taking it in the larger muscle.
I must have been sick for that practice.
Yeah. So that's how you get hit. And, yeah, we've talked to Meade about this before where they train their guys to get hit.
Oh, man, he loves it.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. But it always hurts. Right or wrong, it always hurts.
Meade is the patent of that. He's like, good. Got to experience it.
That would piss me off to no end that I have to learn how to get hit more. And they throw the semi, the kind of squashy ball, but it's still hard enough where it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you build up to it. The problem is in football, a lot of times, depending on the position you're in, you're not always hitting in the same way, but you're hitting in a way that you can condition over time. A baseball could hit you in the shoulder, then it could hit you in the shin, then it could hit you in the foot, then it could hit you in the ass, then it could hit you in the spine.
I don't think it's about the speed of the ball or the pain. I think it's about not knowing. That's the number one fear I had after I got hit enough times and I couldn't freaking see the baseball. I couldn't see it. I couldn't diagnose if the ball was coming to me or going over the plate. So that's where my fear stems from, is of the unknown. And I think with Chapman, or somebody who throws 100 miles an hour, the fear is that I don't have time. I can't look at this and react quick enough that I'm going to be too late and it's going to catch me in a place where I'm vulnerable. Hit me in the back, hit me in the shoulder blade all day.
Yeah, you can live with it hitting in the shoulder or the lats.
The pain's the pain. I mean, I get it. 5 miles an hour might make a difference in the pain factor. I hear you there. But what I'm talking about is it's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of not being able to diagnose what's happening before you. That's what would grip somebody.
Well, when somebody throws 103, it's hard to imagine. You saw the documentary Fastball, and you heard all of the stats about how much time you have to react. It is absolutely absurd to think that a ball could come in at your head at over 100 miles per hour. And if for whatever reason, I don't know, literally you blink.
You sneeze.
Well, you're not going to sneeze, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've never seen that.
Most unfortunate sneeze of all time.
I was going to say, if there's an inkling of a sneeze coming on, I'm backing out of the box
with
for
Chapman.
sure. Yeah.
Hang on.
Hold on. Hey, throw that for a strike if you want to. No. And also, it's just cruel and unusual to be a left-handed hitter going against a left-handed pitcher who throws 103, or vice versa.
Always have to bring this up when you talk about timeouts, taking time with the umpire. Greatest moment I ever saw in baseball history, the biggest G moment. If we had social media, it would be a GIF to this day. Glenn Allen Hill, 1 foot out of the box.
Good old Glenn Allen Hill.
Asked for timeout, and he had those. It was a day game in Chicago, so he had those beautiful Oakley sunglasses on.
Didn't get it and stepped in and went
Didn't
yard.
get it, and yes, he strode back into the box, and he hit a 400-foot bomb out to left field.
Now there I would have stood. That would have been, I would have, and he looked back at
and he looked at the ump. It was a perfect moment.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
And features the best deli meats, cheeses, breads, and ingredients in the city. Enjoy daily specials and soups, salads, and wraps. There's something for everyone. Metro Deli offers online ordering for pickup or delivery and will cater your office breakfast or lunch too. Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot is Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com. That's MetroDeliTally.com.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Sellers Tile salutes Coach Mike Martin on becoming the all-time winningest coach in college baseball history. Sellers Tile, exceptional quality with hometown service.
There's big savings today, up to $1,000 off at TNT Supercenter on the brand new QuietTech Yamaha gas golf carts. The new Yamaha technology combines the quietness of electric with the dependability of gas and the very first independent rear suspension ever found in a golf car. Choose from over 30 new gas Yamahas, including 4-passenger Adventure Sports and the 6-passenger Concierge. Ask about zero down and low interest financing with approved credit. And TNT delivery is free from Valdosta to Tallahassee. Just in at TNT Supercenter, a special fleet purchase of 2016 Club Car Precedent golf cars. These like new Club Car golf cars at TNT Supercenter are $27.99, including the charger and windshield. Only at TNT Supercenter, and only while they last. Just $27.99. Zero down and low interest financing available with approved credit. And delivery is free from Valdosta to Tallahassee. US 19 South, next to the Dairy Queen in Thomasville. View inventory and pricing at TNTSupercenter.com. TNT Supercenter, Thomasville, Georgia.
Do you work in construction, photography, or real estate and use a drone for your job? Did you know that the FAA requires you to be licensed? That's right. All commercial use drone operators have to be a Part 107 license. Have questions? Contact the drone experts at TCC's Wakulla Environmental Institute. Go to tcc.fl.edu and search drones or call 850-558-3500. That's 850-558-3500. Remember, the FAA requires all commercial use drone operators to be licensed.
Working their way into the summer, DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool and Fastener are turning up the heat. Buy one DeWalt 20-volt Max XR lithium-ion brushless premium hammer drill and impact driver combo kit with two 5-amp-hour batteries and receive $100 off instantly. And you get one of the following DeWalt Bear tools for free: a 5-inch grinder, recip saw, or an LED spotlight. That's a 3-piece kit. Come check out all the new DeWalt products at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. And while you're there, check out the most powerful cordless kit on the planet, GoVolt FlexVolt. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
For better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine, change your vehicle's oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. For good times and family fun, Tallahassee heads to the Fun Station. And right now, when you change your oil at Superlube, you'll get a $15 Fun Station gift card. You don't need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area Superlubes, there's probably one right around the corner right now.
How I love to Superlube my car. Yes, sir.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday.
Balls you fire.
Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 US Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Probably frown upon this. We'll see if they do. I don't know. I'm kind of winging these as I go. I woke up last night for no damn reason. 2:45 in the morning, Tom Lang. 2:45. That's way worse than my normal 4 a.m. eyes open, because 4 a.m. I'm like, well, you can just get up. And I could still be all right for a 3 o'clock show.
2:45? You just taking a nap is what you've done.
I went to bed at 10:15.
Yeah, it's a nap.
Right. 2:45, eyes wide open. I was thirsty, Tom. I was so thirsty. I walked into that kitchen and I guzzled a massive thing of water. And for those of you wondering, no, wasn't boozing, nothing like that. I just was thirsty. I drank a lot of coffee. And I came back in and I knew I wasn't going to get right to sleep. So I figured I needed another moment to decompress. And they tell you not to do this, but I flipped back on the television to catch up to see if the Pirates won. You know, I'm even thinking about the Pirates in the dead of night. Mm-hmm. And that could be considered a problem. Ordinarily, when I do that, I'll fall asleep watching the television again. I'll fall back to sleep, and I have to pile 6 or 7 pillows up to sit up straight on my bed to see the TV the way that I want to. Not anymore with MyPillow. Another use for MyPillow. This is true. I've told you about MyPillow, and I did do this last night. It's a big, thick pillow that doesn't lose its shape. That's true. They claim that in the advertising, and they want me to talk about that, and I have. It's accurate. It doesn't lose its shape, which I like. I don't know if this is what they want me to say about MyPillow, but this is true. I folded it last night because it's such a big pillow. It's the only one I needed. I didn't need a second or a third or a fourth to pile up there to be able to sit up. It's that big a damn pillow. One fold, buddy. One fold on the MyPillow, and I was up watching the Pirates. And it was so comfortable that I fell back asleep before the Pirates highlights ended. That's all accurate. Woke up, my dog next to me, my wife next to me on the other side, and me and that pillow.
I need me one of these pillows.
You do need one of these pillows. If you don't have one yet, go to MyPillow.com. Click on the 4-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. I'll save you money. You can find out what it is I'm talking about. It's MyPillow. What you'll get if you type in the promo code 979ESPN, you'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows for just half off. Half off's a good deal. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special, and enter the promo code 979ESPN. Or you can call 1-800-944-6596. Be sure and use that promo code, folks. It's 979ESPN. I've told you all the other things, the 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it as much as I do, send it back. You can get your money back. You'll be good to go. That's a big one. I know a lot of dudes don't care that you can wash it. I get that. You can wash it, which is cool.
That's useful.
It is useful. But I'm just picturing the guys I'm talking to. They're like, I don't care. You can wash your pillow, Cameron. I haven't washed my pillowcase in 5 years. Doesn't make a difference to me.
Oh, God.
I'm saying that's what a lot of people might think.
Ooh.
Yeah, at one time in college, I don't know that I washed my pillowcase all that often.
College is college. There's a
That's
lot of
right.
things
You're
that we aren't
grown up
going to
now.
duplicate as we get into our 30s and 40s, yeah.
You should, if you haven't washed your pillow, and if you have a MyPillow, you can wash the whole damn thing. Just throw it all in there together. You're good to go.
Don't you worry about that noise in the dryer?
That's
the sound of your MyPillow drying in the same form you put it in there.
4-pack special. I'm getting you half off. Use the promo code 979ESPN. Again, go to MyPillow.com. Figure it all out there. It's pretty easy. Baseball tonight. Lots of baseball tonight. Lots of day baseball today as well. So I won't spoil those scores for you. I'll just look ahead at tonight's action. Cue it up, good sir.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Well, they'll shove it down our throat. They already have. But last night did turn out to be a good game. Red Sox, Yankees. I don't mind it as much when it's a legitimate thing. Those two are going to be battling 1-2 all year long.
That's fine. I just didn't know I had Yes Network on my TV until, this season.
Yeah. Boy, they celebrate it, right? Rick Porcello goes for the Red Sox. Masahiro Tanaka going for the Yankees. Royals, Orioles, ouch. So I got to mention this because it cracked me up, and I should have mentioned it earlier in the show, but I forgot. So Dylan Bundy pitched yesterday for the Orioles. Did you see this? Well, for good reason. It's the Orioles, and you wouldn't. But
yeah,
he gave up 7 runs, gave up 4 home runs, and he never got an out.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Never got an out. So think about this. He gives up 7 runs, 4 home runs, does not record an out. That's a tough go. I think, if I remember last time he pitched, he had like 11 Ks. So anyhow, stark contrast from the previous start.
Regression to the mean, man.
He did that on the same night that there was a no-hitter. So the polar opposites of performance there, obviously. And I found this out this morning in reading the article about the no-hitter and the night's action in baseball with Bundy not being able to record an out. That's actually happened before.
Oh, yeah.
That a pitcher, no, what I'm saying, it's actually happened before that a pitcher didn't record an out in a start on the same day that somebody threw a no-hitter.
Yes, Jason Stark went to work to see if it was the no-outer and the no-hitter. That's what they call it. He says, when was the last time they happened? Recently.
2012.
Yeah. He said he was so disappointed, Jason Stark.
I was devastated.
Yeah.
I heard that this morning early. I was in the shower, and I don't even know what I was listening to. It was obviously either our station or something else, but I heard that and went, what? What are the odds that somebody would pitch a no-hitter on a night where a starting pitcher couldn't get an out?
Well, it wasn't another sports station in Tallahassee, I can promise you that.
That's correct. We've already vanquished all of those. By the way, Paxton's no-hitter, that's now 3 no-hitters in 3 different countries in one season.
And he is the first Canadian-born pitcher to throw
a no-hitter in Canada.
In Canada.
But because I always have, Big Daddy J always has another angle. You know what the over-under on no-hitters for the year is?
We've had 3.
Mm-hmm. Already. We've had 3 in 3 different countries.
5.5.
4.
Really?
4.5 in some books. If you don't get it, that's a bad beat. You've already got 3
you're
in
on
the
pace here.
You are like, woo! Now, I got to question you when you walked up to the counter and said, I'm going to go over on the 4 no-hitters this year.
Well, there was, unless you're an advanced stats guy, because there was one writer last week who said the one that happened in Mexico, it takes whatever it is,
multiple
3, 4
pitchers,
pitchers. That's going to become the norm. It's going to become the norm for no-hitters because you have so many specialists that if you have a guy leave through 5 or 6 with no hits, now it's almost like replenishing. You have somebody else fireballing, and it's a matchup
It's
game.
not nearly as impressive, that is
right,
true.
Right.
So my question is, you know how in the Hall of Fame, they put up the no-hit balls. I've been to Cooperstown, and when you go in there, you see all the no-hit balls. It's amazing to see 7 from Nolan Ryan. But anyhow, I'm not taking the ball from the group no-hitter. Don't put that in the Hall. That's not worthy. Give me a 5-man no-hitter. I'm not putting that ball in the Hall of Fame. Maybe in the back. Nobody gets to see that.
Maybe the ball gets heavier each pitcher that comes in. They're like, oh my God, I can't let down the starter. And then the next guy goes, oh no, I can't let down setup man 1 and the starter.
Commissioner Cameron's putting the kibosh on those no-hitter balls coming into Cooperstown. We're not doing that.
Well, let's say you're a manager. It's 6-0 going into the 9th. 3 outs to get for the no-no. What do you do? Do you bring in your closer? It's
6-0?
Yeah, it's 6-0. What do you do? It's a no-hitter.
Well,
you owe it to the pitchers before this inning.
I guess. I mean, you owe it to stick to your plan at that point because you're not beholden to any one guy because he's not going to get the glory. He didn't do anything. He pitched an inning. Screw him. People pitch an inning every night and don't give up a hit. I don't care.
I don't know. It's history for a middle reliever who would never get a chance like that ever again.
Well, there's a reason he's not good enough. He
was for 1 inning.
He was for an inning. That's so what? You know how many countless numbers of no-hit innings have been thrown in baseball's lore that are not acknowledged on a,
Yeah, but I'm a setup guy, and that's usually I'm a no-pressure Jesse, and here's a lot of pressure because there's no hits on the board.
Oh, man. No. I'm not doing it. I'm not a sucker. You'll have to get a new commissioner in here.
Would you celebrate
a group no-hitters?
Would you celebrate a staff perfect game?
And if somebody's got a perfect game, you're an a-hole if you pull him.
Well,
like a perfect game and through 6 or something, you pull that guy?
What if it's through? He's got 120 pitches through 7.
He's going to die on the mound. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
But he's your hot prospect.
Well,
that's going to come. That's going to happen.
It kind of just happened. The Yankees starter the other night was a spot start rook, and I think he pitched 5 or 6 no-hit innings, and Boone pulled him. And he was asked about it right afterwards and said, no, I never had any doubt. He was at 110 pitches or whatever he was at.
It happened in Miami earlier this year, too.
Yeah.
With a kid making his debut.
The Pirates kid making his debut had a perfect game through 7, but he gave up a hit, and then they pulled him.
Also, the proliferation of strikeouts. They're hitting the over this year. That's going to 5 or 6.
Oh, well, the
no-nos.
The no-nos, yes. By the way, the strikeout number, while we're on the subject here, this baseball is interesting. It's got a problem, and yet there are some cool things happening. So last year, they broke the record for most collective strikeouts in a season. They've already, for the first time in the history of Major League Baseball, had a month in which there were more strikeouts than hits. That's not good. That's a terrible thing. They're on pace for over 4,500 strikeouts this year. I think it was 4,000 a year ago. So they're crushing these numbers.
Well, in the stat crunchers, they don't see a slowing down coming either. They don't see a market correction, if you will.
I kind of disagree with that. I'd like to. That's a long form discussion. I do think we're going to see.
Well, we could preempt front row Knowles.
Royals, Orioles in the game that nobody will be watching in for good reason. Scoglin's going to pitch for the Royals. Cashner pitches for the Orioles. Giants, Phillies. Chris Stratton going against Nick Pivetta, by the way. Pivetta went 1-0 with a 2.57 ERA in his first 5 starts, striking out 28 and walking 4 in 28 innings. That is doing some things. Since that time, he's 0-2 with an ERA of 15. Man, you've had an up-and-down run watching Pivetta pitch.
That was a joke, KJ. It's all right.
We're not preempting you guys. Mariners, Jays, Wade LeBlanc, if I could speak, still in the league, Jaime Garcia. Braves, Rays, 1-0 last night. Big Daddy J may have had the Rays, only to be disappointed by getting shut out. The reason Big Daddy J took the Rays was pitching. They gave up 1 run and lost. I was on the right side of the wager, Tom. I was on the correct side of the wager. The philosophy behind the wager was correct. But that's why they call it gambling. Sometimes the other guy pitches a shutout.
You are not deterred.
No, that's right. I'm not deterred. I would tell you that if you wanted to put the action down tonight, if that was your thing, you'd take the Rays again tonight. But I didn't. I saw more attractive options. Julio Teheran goes for the Braves. Ron Yarbrough goes for the Rays. Nats, Padres, Gio Gonzalez, Joey Lucchesi. Hey. Arizona and the Dodgers. Arizona's freaking good. Patrick Corbin goes for the Diamondbacks. Alex Wood goes for the Dodgers. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Front Row Knowles is forthcoming. It will be good. It always is. Tom Block. KJ, aforementioned KJ. I imagine Tim Linnefeld's on the program tonight. Yes. All right. My man Trey Jones, who I'll see later on tonight.
Yeah, Tim Linnefeld is as consistent as they come. He's like Cal Ripken for that show. I wonder what they're paying him.
Probably not a damn penny. It's a tragedy.
And also Trey Hackett's going to be on the program, too.
All right, Trey Hackett.
Why did my voice
coming
crack
over
when I said Hackett?
You got excited. Trey Hackett, everybody. Going to join the Front Row Knowles. That's next. Good work.
That's what happened. What the F was that?
That was great.
Sorry.
For Tom and Matthew, I say great work as always. Good night, guys. Thanks for listening to the program. Tomorrow, we'll be back on. I'd like to go golfing, but they're going to make me do a show tomorrow. That's for the people who are like, oh, you're just golfing. Oh, soon. Tom and I will just steady take days off.
We'll tell you, too.
We got it like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it rolls.
We made Periscope.
When you get huge ratings and make the kind of money we do, we just walk the hell out for 3 days at a time and go golfing. Tell you about it. Good night.